we go. That doesn't look right. Oh, no, that's right. All right, good. We are kicking, I think. It looks like we are fine. We got a couple people in chat. I got to pop out the chat to be able to copy that. What is going on, guys? How are y'all doing on this fine Wednesday? We got a couple people already hanging out. Let's put that right there. We got to switch our PBA watch party. We ain't doing a PBA watch party right now. Let's see. Kurt, what's going on? Brooks, what's going on? Josh, Rash hasn't forgotten the bottle incident. Oh, yeah. Lefty, what's going on? Gandhi, what is happening? We'll go Belmo versus Rash plus Q and A. Boom. Chat is not disabled for this stream, by the way. I don't know what's going on with that. Johnny, what's up? James, what's up? J Nev, what's going on? Where is my chat? Pop out chat. And then we will copy it. Boom. There's my chat. All right, we are here. There we go. John, what's up? Owen, hello. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. We are here for another regular live stream that we do. Dominic, what's up? Jerome, how you doing? We have our usual exciting, always fun, just Q&A live stream with a lot of other stuff going on. My hair is facing weird directions right now. I got a haircut yesterday, so it's going all over the place, unfortunately. Glenn, how you doing? Rash has a rash, or is Rash just being Rash? Well done, well done. We have 50 people already hanging out. Love to see it. How are all of you doing? I'm going to go live on TikTok quick, too. Make sure that's all good. I'll go Belmo versus Rash and Q and A. And go live over there. We are live on right now, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. So we are going to do as usual. We have a full bowling Q&A. Any questions you guys have, throw them down in the chat. I will try to hit as many as I possibly can. We have a lot of topics to talk about today. The one that I'm showing right above me right now, Belmo versus Rash, was the biggest PBA news of the week. Second biggest PBA news. Biggest PBA news was a brand new champion, brand new major champion, who was throwing arguably the now greatest ball of the last couple weeks, the Max Thrill Hybrid. That thing has already won a major title. Hasn't released yet, won a major title. Evoke Hysteria, won a major title. I don't know what's going on with Motive right now. It's kind of wild. But we're going to talk Belmo versus Rash, the vaping incident of 2025, the hardest hitting PBA news of the last 10 years. We are going to be we're going to talk about Ethan Fior winning the PBA Players Championships against Ryan Barnes and absolutely crushing it on TV with zero emotions, almost negative emotions with how little he showed. We are going to have full bowling Q&A because we have 3 new bowling balls dropping tomorrow. We have a new Storm Typhoon dropping on Friday, and then we have the new Max Thrill Hybrid, again, the new major winning bowling ball next Wednesday. Also, we do have one extra thing to hit that I have somebody who, yes, that James just hit on. Thank you, James, that we're going to be covering a little bit. And that is the end of Bowler's Paradise on YouTube. Not in general, not their store, but on YouTube. We have had one of the, not one of the OG, oh, where'd my chat go? There's my chat. But we have one of the really, really good ball reviewers who just retired, possibly temporarily, but retired from bowling ball reviews on YouTube. Very, very big news in my opinion. We love Ben over at Bowler's Paradise, so we're going to talk about that today also. Remember, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe or follow. It helps me out a ton. It's the best way to support the channel. And then also you can stay notified whenever we have videos like this go live. But let's catch up. We have a lot of people hanging out already. We have so many faces out here. Devin, we have the first question of the day. Is the identity similar to the Equinox? Short answer is yes. However, the identity is much sharper down lane, where it hooks in around the same part of the lane. The identity just is a lot more, hooks a lot more on friction. The Equinox is more round off of friction, which makes it good for league shots because it gives you miss room, where the identity just wants to go sideways. It wants to be very, very sharp down lane. So that's really the difference between those two. And Gareth, hello from the UK. What is going on, Gareth? Let's see. Matty Nitro is hanging out over on TikTok right now. Rash versus Belmo at WrestleMania. That's what I was thinking is let's have a WWE matchup. Let's go. Let's have some fun with that. That would be very fun. Let's see. We have JNev, Belmo caught vaping. Yes. Well, it's hard because like he technically wasn't per se. He wasn't caught with proof, but people thought he was. So yeah, vaping asterisk. Yofo, what's up? Kurt, nothing like de-oiling bowling balls and resurface, getting ready for nationals. Great idea. Make sure to bring your stuff to a lower surface. Make sure it's going to be around 1,000 to 2,000 grit because it's definitely needed out there. They are hard this year. And James, no more Bowler's Paradise. Yes, not the store because Bowler's Paradise is actually a bowling online retailer. I believe they might own some pro shops too. But yes, the YouTube channel is now going on a hiatus. Ben, I believe his last name is Glasscock, if I remember right. Possibly. I think he's from Wisconsin. Ben is not running the channel. He is taking a break, a leave from YouTube, which is crazy because I mentioned it on a video, or I mentioned in the comments, I thought he's one of the best honest reviewers because he doesn't have that extra bias where it unfortunately gets rid of one more person who is an unbiased ball reviewer. And we are running low on those right now. We are running very, very low on those. More and more people are becoming biased, which is a little unfortunate. Kelvin, which ball from SPI or Hammer is similar to the Lethal Venom? The Sublime Focus is going to be close from Storm. And from Hammer, your closest bet is probably going to be an Effect Tour. Effect Tour is probably going to be the closest you've got. Owen Crammon, what is your favorite and least favorite oil pattern that you have bowled on? Least favorite is always Scorpion. Any version of any version of Chameleon, my bad. Every version of Chameleon beats me up badly. I don't know why, but it just does. Favorite pattern, I really like long patterns. So like a Big Ben or something like Big Ben. Like a Big Ben, or what else have I bowled on lately that's longer? I should remember a couple. Like 44 feet and up, I'm in. James D, Motive is killing it this year. Motive is dominating the market right now. They are, I don't know if it's just the bowling balls they're making, the athletes they have, whatever it may be, they're winning everything. The amount of titles they've won this year is wild. And the problem is the ball brand battle standings don't really show it because Ethan wasn't on Team Motive this week and he won. So Ryan Barnes got all the points for global. So Motive didn't actually jump up even though they won the tournament, which is kind of crazy. Yofo, Ben Glasscock was an awesome ball reviewer. He was. He's an awesome dude, really good dude too. Gandhi, my favorite channel after you has been. For the last 6 months, he's not regularly posting. Now he's taking a break. It makes sense, honestly. It's very easy to get burnt out by YouTube stuff because for a little bit, peek behind the curtain, you never make enough money with the size of channels that we have right now. So you have to be in the six-figure plus subscriber numbers to actually make enough money to do this. He wasn't really making enough. He had another job, and ball reviews are hard when you're doing every ball. That is something that a lot of people don't see, is that a lot of the ball reviewers you see, that is generally their only job. So like you go the Hype, you go Charles over there, that's what he does. He drills every single ball. He has the time for it because he's a Bowler Smart employee. So that's why he's able to do all that. You have Luke Rosdahl is not. He has a second job, which is, I don't know how he fits a lot of the stuff he does, but he's slowed down a ton on his ball reviews. He, for a long time, though, was posting a lot, and it gets to be 60, 70-hour weeks. Like, for example, I'm not even reviewing every bowling ball. I'm not drilling that many bowling balls. I drill one a month, maybe two a month, and I'm still putting in usually 15 to 25 hours to the channels per week, so it adds up. So I get where he's coming from. Having that many bowling balls to do, plus all the other things he did, and all the post-production, because he was making his videos look good, is tough. Matthew, would the Lightning Blackout and the Typhoon have similar shape? Kind of. The Lightning Blackout is going to be a lot earlier than the Typhoon, so it's going to be smoother down lane. The Typhoon, the Lightning Blackout. The Typhoon, in my opinion, is like a High Road Pearl. It really reminds me of a smoother High Road Pearl right now. That's kind of the spot I've seen. I've seen it go down the lane a handful of times now. Devin, okay, thought so. I just got mine. Nice, love it. Crypto Miner, what's going on from South Florida? How you doing, man? Thanks for hopping in. Garrett, what kind of equipment do you recommend for bowlers that are more naturally up the back of the ball and struggle to get around it? You're going to want shinier, more responsive equipment. So more angular bowling balls, so our medium sharp, strong sharp, and weak sharp are going to be your best friend. When you're up the back of the ball, your ball wants to hook earlier. When you're around the ball, your ball wants to hook later. So you're probably going to need bowling balls to kind of even that out a little bit. Ben does badass reviews too. Yeah, he does great. He was awesome with reviews. He was usually very honest. He was amazing with comparisons. A lot of people are awful with comparisons. The Brunswick brands especially do not compare their bowling balls against each other. I don't know if it's something that they purposefully don't do or what, but it's very hard to tell bowling balls against each other. Like Game Breaker 5 versus Hammerhead, there's barely anybody who's ever talked about what that comparison looks like. Hazmat Solid versus GB5 versus Hammerhead. No idea. Also, Wyatt, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Appreciate it. So it's very unfortunate. He was very good at that. Gandhi, worst ball of the decade is the torpedo direct hit. Ben, if you guys haven't watched Bowler's Paradise last video, he completely poops on the torpedo direct hit. It is hilarious because yes, he is right. That ball was made to sell. It was made for sales. It was not made for performance. It is just a dumb idea. It was, we need to pump out one more bowling ball. Let's just throw this shiny like plastic like cover that we used on the Spy, name it something a little different and just say it's the same thing. And it worked. It worked really well. It sold really well. And it does work in a lot of situations, but he was kind of right on that. There are a lot of bowling balls that are made to sell and not for performance. Robert Throop, I hate to see Ben from Bowler's Paradise go, but I do agree with him. Selling bowling balls is a business, but there are way too many released. And there's a lot to go with that claim of too many bowling balls being released. There are accurate statements on that. There were 80 some last year. I think right now we're on track for about 75 releases this year, and that's not counting Swag, who might release something soon, allegedly. I don't know what they're doing, honestly. I think a lot of the tariffs are causing problems with a lot of that stuff going on. So you're going to see a pause in some bowling ball stuff over the next couple of months. So be ready for that. But yeah, you're 100% right. There are a lot of bowling balls and it's very hard to keep track of all of them. But that is the job of some YouTubers, which is a very tough one to take. There are just so many bowling balls and there are very few people that drill them all. J.R. Raymond even, I think, paused drilling every single bowling ball. I think he only drills most, but not all, because there's just way too many. James D, I think a hybrid Evoke is coming and the Hysteria is moving to the Forge slot. Oh, 100%. After the success of the Evoke Hysteria, we will see a hybrid Evoke, probably not for like 5 to 6 months at least, but we will see one in the future. All right, let's see. Jordan, Matty Nitro, which two balls would you pair with the Equinox? Rockstar and Road Warrior is perfect. So Equinox would be your strong sharp, Rockstar would be your medium smooth, and then Road Warrior would be your weak sharp. I like it a lot. Jordan Griffin, what's up? I just got an Ion Max, not specifically for nationals, but think it will get used. Oh, 100%. That ball's really good. That's one of I mentioned in the Storm video, it's one of my top 3 to top 4 strong ASIMs on the market today. Wyatt, what solid should I buy if my pearl is an optimal idle pearl? I'd go with like a Summit Ascent. Summit Ascent will be different enough. Otherwise, if you want to keep another strong core ball, the Rockstar, the Phase 2 are really good. Noah F, should I pair my Zen 25 with a Rockstar or invest in a new spare ball? I like the spare ball idea. The spare ball is the one ball I think you're okay with having at a different weight, unless your name is Kevin McCune, because he can just throw everything. But if you are okay with that, I'd go Zen to have a little more difference in your bowling balls. But it really depends on how your spare game is right now, how you're feeling about that spare ball. Because if your spare ball doesn't feel good, do not throw it. That's a bad thing because you need to be hitting spares. Sky, how do I increase your ball speed? So big ways are higher backswing, faster feet, or longer arms, which one of those 3 things is not possible to do unless you're younger and you're still growing. So you're going to have to either speed up your feet or raise your arm swing. Also, thank you everybody who's hanging out right now. Make sure to smash the like button if you haven't, especially on TikTok. Double tap your screen. You can smash your screen an infinite amount of times. I'd really appreciate if you guys can do that over there. The more likes we get, the more people this reaches and more bowlers we have hanging out and getting helped. Let's see. Harry, Origin, Clone, Magic Gem, Optimum Idle Pearl. Is this good? Yeah, it's very strong arsenal, but that's still pretty good, Harry. I like it. Let's see. King Money. If you're bowling on a very oily pattern, what surface should I hit with the DNA? I'd go like 1,000 grit. 1,000 grit should be pretty good. Freddie Montclair. What pound ball do you throw, brother? I am throwing 15. 15-pound ball. Let's jump over here. James, my pro shop had an identity and I couldn't resist. The limited quantity marketing worked on me. It worked on a lot of people. It worked on everybody. That ball sold so well. Same with the Jackal, is selling really well right now. Brooks, my Belmo is sharp at the end. My Equinox is a little weaker. Yep, that is exactly how they seem to fit for everybody, which is perfect. Jerome Thomas, which balls should be first out of the bag, identity or an AI? I'd recommend the identity. It's going to be a little stronger, so it'll be better on oil. That IQ might be a little too sharp for you at first. Jonathan, I have an Optimum Idol, Phase AI, Attention Star, and a Black Venom. What should I throw first, and so on? I really like throwing the solid stuff first, Optimum Idol or the Black Venom, and then going to the Attention Star after that. Josh, reverse block from back in the day is an absolute nightmare pattern. Oh, 100%. Anything flat or less than flat where the middle has less oil than the outsides, I think is just a coin flip of how it plays, and it's dumb. Kiss Chaos Nationals this weekend. Hey, good luck, good luck. Yo, Fo, if Luke Rosdahl or Zach stops reviews too, I'm going to lose it. Luke, I'd be a little worried about. Now, it's interesting. Once it's at jobs too, and sports and a lot of other places, once one person retires or backs away, you're going to notice more people doing it. I could very well see Luke stopping. I know at the end of last year, he kind of wanted to. In a couple videos, he made it sound like that. I don't know him personally at all. I've never talked to the dude before. I just watch all of his videos. It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me, especially he backed out on a couple of Brunswick's things. So I think Brunswick offered him bowling balls, which is still crazy to me because I don't know anything of that situation. But I don't think he wanted all of the Brunswick balls. He only wanted a select few companies. Mark, bro, what do you think are the remaining unbiased ball reviewers? The only ones right now, I think the hype is still fairly unbiased. I noticed the Bowler Smart guys are pushing the swag stuff a little bit more to try to boost sales because Bowler Smart owns them. But the other ones, Luke is fairly unbiased. He's been a little more anti-Storm with a couple of things. From the last couple, but that's expected because him and Storm didn't end on like great terms per se, but they ended on okay terms. So I could see he's still really good. I think there's a new one. I forget their name. Virtue Bowling Supply are incredibly unbiased. Usually pro shop places are fairly unbiased. JR Pro Shop isn't as much because all those guys are on staff with somebody. Brunswick is very much not, of course, because he's the main marketing rep at Brunswick. So I don't think you'll ever hear a bad thing in a ball review with him. Who are some other ones that are good? JR was always brutally honest. He always had some pretty good takes on bowling balls, so there really aren't many, though. Be the Fury, who do you think will switch brands for Tour next year? I can see Marshall switching back. He had a really bad year this year, so I could see him getting a call from Storm to go back to his quote-unquote roots, because Storm kind of does that. I could see Nick Pate maybe going back, especially... It really depends on what happens with urethanes. If we see any more rules with urethanes, you're going to see a lot of people jump ship from Brunswick. You're going to notice a lot of the lefties go to different companies then. That's kind of what I'm seeing is a lot of the lefties stay with Brunswick because of the urethanes. That's why most lefties on tour are Brunswick staffers. Chaos Nationals this weekend. You have Onyx, Attention Star, S2, Lethal Venom, Rockstar, Ion Pro, and Spare. Ooh, that looks really good. I like it. You don't need almost any shiny balls for natties. John St. Andrea, Typhoon versus Torpedo directed. Oh, Typhoon hooks eons more. The Torpedo barely hooks. Unless you're high rev, low speed, and you're bowling on a lot of friction, it doesn't hook. It goes very straight. It hooks just enough to be annoying as a spare ball, to not really fit as a spare ball, but it hooks more than like a mix, but less than almost everything else. Let's see. Owen Crammon, this question might sound stupid. Oh, never, don't worry. But as a high school sophomore, who is currently bowling practices with a college team, do you think I would have a chance to bowl in college? Absolutely. One of the easier sports to go bowl college in, one of the most accessible is bowling. every single state generally has some kind of like college day where a bunch of college coaches come to recruit. So it is much easier in that sense. So absolutely, Owen, I guarantee you can bowl college pretty quick. James, EJ is sitting on top of the TOC stands. Oh yeah, he's whacking him again. Unsurprisingly, he is absolutely whacking him. Let's see. Blue stud. Asymmetrical pearl step down from the star. Theorem pearl is about your only option. There aren't many super weak asym pearls right now. Matt Sickmon, what does resurfacing a ball do and how often should I have it done? Resurfacing it changes the overall surface of the bowling ball. So what it does is the actual, like, how dull or shiny it is. The duller the ball, the earlier it hooks, the shinier it is, the later it hooks. So it really changes where that ball reacts. And that is arguably the most important thing with a bowling ball, is what the surface grit is of the cover of the bowling ball. That'll really determine its ball shape. Boo Bear, League Bowling with Equinox, and I really like it. What should your next ball meet? I'd get something weaker like a Road Warrior. It'll be below your Equinox, something that you can use after it. Let's see, where is did my Twitch stream not connect? Oh no, Twitch is connected, we're good. We're good on that front. All right, let's see. Devin Kress, I have a Ruby Identity Ion Pro. What should I have, medium smooth and medium sharp balls be? I would go like a Rockstar Phase 2, and then I like the Zen 25 in the medium sharp slot. Absolutely. Let's see, where are we at? We have Cam with, Gandhi. Is GB5 Pearl good? Yes, but you see nothing about the GB5 Pearl. It gets zero attention, which is kind of disappointing because it looks good, but I honestly am not 100% positive how good the ball looks. I think it looks really good, but I don't see it enough personally. And even online, I barely see it. I saw it on the PBA tour once or twice, but I think it's good, but I'm honestly not positive. Cam, with an arsenal of Reality, Eternity Pie, Phase 2, Harsh Reality Pearl, and Attention Star. Current arsenal for Nationals. It looks good. You stay on the ASIM boat, which is good. You have a Phase 2. You might want something a little weaker than a Phase 2, just in case they hook a lot, but you still want to play straighter. See, John St. Andrea, I've heard the Road Warrior is compared to the High Road Pearl. So the Road Warrior is stronger than the High Road Pearl. So you'd go Road Warrior is stronger and smoother, and then stronger and sharper. Typhoon is right below it, is what I see. Justin, speaking of Big Ben, as a lefty, how do you approach this pattern? You're going to want to play a little bit in, and then just a tighter line. So second or third arrow, something stronger, something smoother, and you'll be good. Pete, I think Ben should team up with Luke. Luke stopped reviewing some of the brands. Ben should take all the brands Luke stepped away with. I honestly am a little surprised there isn't as much collaboration in the YouTube bowling world as there is. There's no collaboration at all. Like, some people say that they like actually talk to each other, but I don't see many people actually making videos together. I think me and Maribeth are two of the few that actually did. So I could see it. It would be awesome, but I don't know. It never really happens. Hey, Gavin Gonzalez, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Appreciate it. Freddie Montclair, I think bowling needs a Savannah Banana type event. Oh, 100%. I am a huge advocate for you need to make bowling entertaining. Like, at the end of the day, every sport in the world is about entertainment. You need viewers, so you need entertainment. A great match doesn't always bring in good entertainment. Like basketball, you could have, let's go Jazz versus Grizzlies. If it's a match that if it's a game that goes into OT, ends like 136 to 134, it doesn't get that much hype. But if you have Braun in there or you have Steph in there, whole different story. So because they're entertaining to watch, and bowling doesn't really have much of that. So yeah, you're absolutely right. There needs to be more entertainment in the game. 100%. Let's see. I did see Bowlby 6-ball Brunswick Core non-retired Arsenal. There's so many Brunswick balls right now. There's in the 30s, 40s, 50s right now. So there are a billion options, Bowlby, that can work. Check out some of my older reviews on some bowling balls, and you'll know where things fit and if they're good or not. Because I'll be brutally honest. Like, for example, Cypher Pearl, don't buy it. Sorry, just don't. It looks terrible. It does not look good. FaZe Ranch, opinion on the radical outer limit solid. It's better than I thought, but it does die out quicker than you'd think. It's very good from straight, awful from with angle, terrible with angle unless you're on the right conditions, really, really specific conditions. So I like it, but it's not going to last an insane amount of time, and it takes a little bit of cleanup to keep it going. Dominic, come on, people. There's 76 of us and only 14 likes. Exactly, Dominic. I agree. We need to jump that like number up. 100% agree. We actually have 87 people over hanging out on YouTube right now. Thank you guys all on YouTube. Johnny A. Not sure how to ask this question. Are houses that seam the 6-board to the gutter, it slides and out of bounds. When I try to move in, I pull it or push it right. I'm lost. Can you help? So this is a very interesting one. It's a part of bowling that not many people know about, and it's the topography of a lane. So no lane is truly flat on the planet. No bowling lane is flat. There are valleys, there are peaks to every bowling lane. A lot of older bowling lanes, you're going to see that there's a dip, a valley around between 8, 9, and 10 board, all the way down the lane. It's called the track. It's where most league bowlers play, is up second arrow, especially in the last 30, 40 years. That's where they all played. So the problem is you have that upwards portion. So if your ball hits that track, because it's a valley, it's going to go down the hill, hit the up part, and hook. But if you get past that up part of the valley, then your ball's not going to hook. It's going to skate a little bit too far, and then it's not going to look good. So that's something to keep track of. Some bowling centers, the topography is worse than others. My home center right now, topography is terrible. If you get the ball going angle to the 3-board, it is not hooking unless you throw it super slow or have a really, really dull ball. There are so many 210s and super washouts that you see at my bowling center, and the people who do best are the ones that play directly up the lane. If you hook it, it gets ugly. So yes, that's not a dumb question at all, Johnny. That's exactly how to ask it. So I bet that's what's happening with you. DJ Settle. My break glass in case of emergency ball is the Blazing Inferno. Started to crack around the pin. Oh, Blazing Inferno. That is an oldie. Is that 10 years old at this point? It might be. Brunswick Blazing Inferno it was a dry lane ball. I didn't know that. Oh. It was polished. You might want to check out that new Crown Victory. That thing actually looks pretty okay. It's going to be a lot sharper than what you have, but it could be good yet. Gary Peacock, every pro shop should own a surface grit reader. Most do. They are expensive, though. They are very expensive, but yes. JD 103859, what's your take on the Lethal Venom? Lethal Venom is really, really good. It is a fantastic, smooth, just super smooth and slow bowling ball. Really, really slow on friction, so it's good for short patterns and good for when you want to keep your angles in front of you. Not as good when there's when you need to wheel the ball a little bit, or when you need to play a little bit deeper. Let's see. Asian Kevin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Joe Monday, Portland, Maine was close, but the PBA burnt that bridge. Yeah, I know. That Portland was the play, but they really beat a dead horse on that one where they wanted everything in Portland, and that's not easy to do. Ahala, thank you for the follow on TikTok too. Appreciate it. What do you think about state bowling in your center next year from Ahala? Hey, that is a good call. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. The lanes are weird, so I guarantee scores are a little bit lower. Depends on what they put out for a pattern. Like this year's state in Minnesota, they put out the dumbest pattern possible. There's any Minnesota USBC people, we got to pick a better oil pattern for state. 23 mils of oil. So you can't throw anything that isn't a weak bowling ball. And it very much favors one specific style of play. It favors the lefties a lot. And then it favors the guys with very low rev rates because they can just stay in one spot and not mess up the pattern. Where if you have a team of higher rev rates, you destroy the pattern and it gets gross. So if they put out a good pattern with a lot of volume, it's going to play really well. If not, it's going to be disgusting. Absolutely. Knobs, I heard what happened with Rash and Velmo. Any news on the thing? So the last that we had for bringing everyone back in the loop, I had a couple videos go out on all my platforms for Rash versus Belmo. What happened is Sean Rash had this super long Facebook post about integrity. And ironically, I found out later on after I made the video, or I think during the video, he has t-shirts that say integrity on them during the urethane incident because he was the loudest voice saying that urethane balls are getting softer. He was correct on that, by the way. He is absolutely correct. Brunswick pushes that they don't get softer. They scientifically do get softer. Urethane balls do over time after use. It's like after 10 games, they start getting softer. Versus reactive balls get a little bit harder, or they stay the same, one or the other. But that Rash was big on that, had integrity shirts come out. So his big new brand thing was integrity. Odd one to market around, I guess. I don't know. I don't like when people make t-shirts or merch in general to like attack others or like be snarky about a situation. There's a couple bowling YouTubers that have that, and it's not a good idea. It's not a good look. But what happened is he had this big post. Everyone was wondering, who's he talking about? What happened? What is it? It had to have been something big. And then Jeff Riggles, the amazing Jeff Riggles, the greatest bowling reporter on the planet by a landslide, 11thframe.com, has this long article come out saying Rash was talking about Belmo vaping. He apparently, allegedly, him and Dick Allen saw Belmo vaping in the paddock. I believe it was like between blocks or something like that. And they saw him do it. They saw him do it. They tried reporting it. There was no proof. There's apparently a PBA player who also saw it, who backed away from the statement saying, nah, I didn't see anything. Belmo didn't really have much to say. Riggles tried reaching out. Belmo said, I'm just focusing on bowling in the Players' Championship. The technical penalty is disqualification from the tournament if caught using nicotine or drinking alcohol while in a jersey or during the competition. Some really big PBA rules on that. What ended up happening is Sean Rash made this social media post. The PBA talked to Belmo. There was no evidence or anything, so nothing happened. They thought Belmo had it in like a shoe cover or something, ended up not being the case. Then later on, the PBA sent a message to Rash, and they released that with Jeff Riggles, surprisingly. And it showed that they were calling out Rash, saying, don't go to social media for this stuff. Let us handle the situation. So that is what happened with Rash versus Belmo. Kind of crazy. More stuff going on there. Very odd. Vaping is an interesting interesting hill to die on. It is the rule. Yes, 100%. It is the PBA rule. The rule is dumb. It probably needs to be pulled back a little bit. They don't want players drinking during tournaments. I get that. Vaping was an odd one though. So very, very interesting. Let's get to a couple other comments. Let me know if you have more questions on the situation. It's still developing, of course, but there hasn't been anything for a handful of days now. Rash has not responded in the slightest. His comment sections are demolished with people hating on him right now, but he hasn't talked about it since. Max Priest, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Garrett, I think why we don't see a lot of ball companies within the same companies is that they would show how similar they are. That they're trying to push for that month. It's honestly a fair claim. There are a lot of them. Like if we saw Hammerhead versus GB5, you would see similarities. And yeah, it's a little unfortunate. I get why they do it. I get why they're avoiding it, but it is something that us as viewers need to know, and us as consumers. And Luke, thank you for the follow on TikTok too. Appreciate that. Gandhi, sometimes I feel the struggle to play old lanes. It's unpredictable and overhooks. Absolutely. You need weak equipment for old lanes. Absolutely needed. Let's see. Estrehow, we have the news about tobacco vapes being illegal. What are the rules in regard to medical cannabis? I believe that's okay. The little bit I know about the PBA rulebook, I believe that's still okay, Strehow. It's just nicotine products and cannabis and then vaping. And drinking and tobacco, and then any other illegal substance. And then everything that Brandon Novak did, highly illegal in both federal court and PBA rulebook. Garrett, I think we saw that one. Devin Bodeker, what ball should I throw first? You have an Equinox, Identity, Ion Pro, Level, IQ for AI. What I always recommend when people ask like what to throw first, I recommend just testing. Test things out, try them out, see what feels better. Generally, you want to start with the duller or stronger equipment, but sometimes that's not the case depending on your center and depending on the lane conditions and all that. There are times where you need to start with an Ion Pro. There are times you need to start with an Identity. There are times where you need to start with, there's times you need to start with a urethane ball. It really all depends. Dachshund, new to bowling, would you recommend a vibe, a raw, a hustle, a thrill, or a venom? You have a Polaris hybrid. If you have a Polaris hybrid already, I would go with like a thrill or a hustle. It's going to hook a little bit more for you and it'll be a little better in that way. Papo Maldonado, what the PBA player does in his own time should not affect what they do at the tournament. Yeah, it's in every sport. There are rules of like what you can and can't do while you have the jersey on. So you'll see a lot of, I think NBA is most open towards that. So is NFL because they have so many felons that are still in the NFL. Whole different story. That's on a ZVL Sports Talk channel, not ZVL Bowling channel. Yeah, PBA is a little more strict on it. And I think it was because smoking and drinking was so common in the 70s and 80s for bowling that they put a stop to it quick. Andy, what's going on in TikTok? What's a good ball when the lanes have extra oil on it? You're going to want something super strong and asymmetrical. So all the expensive stuff. And I know you adore bowling, Andy, so go buy as many bowling balls as you possibly can and get into the sport. Chico, I wanted to give you an update. I traded the Scorn for a Ghost and bought a Hysteria. I love that. That is a fantastic choice, Chico. Yofo, virtual bowling reviews is unbiased. Oh, absolutely. And X in the Pit, also X in the Pit too. Absolutely. The hard thing is it's a lot of newer people who don't have the best editing skills right now. They're still learning about that side of YouTube. So a lot of the old guys have already gotten old. I say old guys, that's mean. A lot of the older YouTubers who've been doing it for a while have really good editing skills, but they've all gotten sponsored at this point. So, you know, there's always that. I think Lewis is a good example where like he's been sponsored like 3 times and you can notice some bias in some of the stuff that he says right now to certain companies. Like Motive, you can tell he's high on heaven for right now, which is fair. They have really good equipment right now, but he does get free bowling ball sent to him. Yofo, does a strong ball mean early? Yes, strong ball equals early. Absolutely. And Gandhi, what are best balls for slow speed players for transition for medium to heavy oil? You're going to want still shiny bowling balls, maybe some asymmetrical stuff. Attention Stars would be good. Black Widow Manias, things like that. Kickstand, Kurt. My Arsenal for Nationals, Hyperdrive, Idol, X-Ray, and Star. I like that a lot. Surface looks pretty good. You might have to dull up the hyperdrive a little bit for double singles. They don't hook much for double singles, but that is a good thing to check out. Dachshund, new to bowling. I'm a 2-handed bowler throwing 14 miles an hour. Would you recommend? Oh, I already hit that one. Matthew, do you think TV bowling give honest reviews of storing ball? TV bowling supplies give honest reviews of storm balls. Yeah. So if you find a really good staffer, like I think Mikey and Chris do awesome jobs. D Tang does an awesome job for storm stuff specifically. Now, they're not going to say bad things. They're not going to drill out a ball and say, all right, this thing isn't great. That's not going to happen, but you can kind of dig into it a little bit and see where the bowling ball fits and see what it's supposed to do. So that's always a good one. Bowling with the Fef. What if you're an older YouTuber who can't edit? There is a fun thing out there called Canva that I highly recommend buying. That is the only reason I can, is because Canva holds my hand the whole way. In Canva and YouTube, we trust. Let's see. Gandhi, RST Hyperdrive is giving tough competition. Also, Bowling with the Fef also had incredible interviews over the last couple weeks, especially one with Tom Clark. Go check that out, please. Go watch Bowling with the Fef's interview after this, of course. Oh, watch the live stream all the way through, but then go check out his channel and go watch the Tom Clark interview specifically. They get into string pin, they get into the PBA and Fox deal. It's fantastic. Highly recommend. Gandhi, RST Hyperdrive is giving tough competition to Hysteria. That's a good question. It's a very good question. Oh man, that's a hard one though. I would say yes, they're both fantastic. Hysteria has a lot more airtime, but the Hyperdrive is phenomenal right now. It is very, very good. I see Chase Dot in TikTok asking, Swag the Judge versus the Ion Max. The issue with the Swag equipment, it's very, very weak. It's much weaker than you expect it to be. So the Max hooks so much earlier and has so much more angle down lane. The unfortunate part with the Swag equipment is what was haunting them previously is all of their equipment looks very similar. It has a very similar motion. A lot of it is just very smooth off of friction. And it's a little unfortunate. If you want that bowling shape, they have it. However, they don't have a lot of like, they don't have anything with angle. The Pearl stuff is not angular. It's very, very slow and smooth Pearl equipment, which has a spot. But yeah, a lot of it has a similar shape. So the Ion Max is even a little bit sharper than the Swag stuff, in my opinion. I see Alan F. First of all, thank you for the follow. But second of all, exercises for improving speed. Your speed comes from your feet. So or feet, not feet, legs. There we go. Not your feet specifically. Leg exercises are always fantastic. You need very strong legs to be a bowler with higher speed or higher revs. It helps a ton, absolute ton. Cole Elliott, if building your first 3-ball arsenal is a spare ball worth a slot. Urethane can work. Urethane can actually absolutely work. I always like plastic personally, but urethane can work, Cole. Corey, like better ball for speed dominant righty, Hysteria or the Zen. You already have a Vibo. If you have a Vibo, don't get the Hysteria. I'd go with a Zen. Hey, Seifel, thank you for the heart on TikTok. David Jones, are there certain states or parts of the country that would be considered strongholds of bowling? Yes, absolutely. Northeast US is very good. Of course, the area around Wichita is a phenomenal bowling area. You go to a sweeper down in Wichita, you're going to see 4 pros there and then like 5 other college stars that hang out, because a lot of like what happens with most people in general, you go to college in a place, you end up living in that town. So a lot of bowlers went to Wichita for bowling and then stayed in the area when they got a job, whatever it may be. So I would say Wichita is probably the strongest. The Midwest has really strong bowling presence. You go to like a Greater Iowa Bowling Association tournament, there'll be a couple of pros that hang out there that you'll see. I think Cam Crow and Spencer Robarge were just in the finals of the last JIBA tournament. The West Coast doesn't have crazy good bowling right now. Vegas has some good bowling. Arizona has some decent bowling right now. Yeah, Texas is phenomenal. Florida has some really good bowling too. And then I'd say like the New York area, the Brooklyn area has some good ones. Johnny Coach, the Crown Victory is marketed to go long. Should be first. Yeah, it should not be first out of the bag, Johnny. No, do not use the Crown Victory first. That thing is angular, very, very weak, very angular. It is not a first ball out of the bag. Whenever a reviewer says this is a first ball out of the bag, take it with a grain of salt. That is a ball reviewer's like key phrase is first ball out of the bag because it sells well. No, that Crown Victory, unless they're like really old lanes that hook a ton, then it could be. Otherwise, it's not first ball out of the bag. Johnny, if you buy a ball that is drilled and not used, it for now, will it die? Yes, after years, if the ball is not covered like in a plastic bag or something, it will. Air does make the cover stock die out a little bit. So just normal air does that. Garrett, when's the updated best B6 arsenal coming? Very soon. I have Motive dropping this week, I believe. I have Motive dropping this Sunday. I'll have Hammer after that, and I'll have the other Brunswick brands. Let's see. Where are we at? Seifel, Motive, Venom, Shock, Physics, Blackout, and Origin. How would you put in sequence? The Physics Blackout is probably going to be first. Second of all is going to be, well, Venom Shock and Physics Blackout are like 1A, 1B, depending on the situation. The Venom Shock is best for the fresh for most people, unless your name is EJ. Otherwise, Physics Blackout is really good for the fresh or transition, and Origin is a little more transition. I actually have an Origin on the way, so I will have videos of the Origin coming soon. Gandhi, suggestion on how to control the breakpoint. 3-point targeting is tough. I would just go 2-point targeting, arrows, and then breakpoint. Just go 2-point, arrows, and breakpoint to start. Say like, I want this to get to 5 at the arrows, and I'm going to try to hit 15, and that's it. That's all you need to know. And then line up and try hitting that. Guess and test. Get a video, see how close you got. Sometimes your eyes can trick you when you're at the line versus when you have a video from behind it. Maddie Nitro, what's going on, Maddie? Friends asked me to ask you, what do you think of the effect, the special effect, and the hammerhead? It's okay. It's honestly not bad. The special effect and the effect are going to be a little bit close. The differences are kind of tiny, but the hammerhead is way different from the other two, so I think it is pretty good. You might have to dull the special effect just a little bit to make it different enough. All right, I did see Revs on the left hanging out. What is going on, Revs? Good to see ya. Lefty, I throw 15 pounds, but I got a 16 VBO. Struggle to find hook with it on every condition. I've been scared to surface it. Will become more angular. No, if you dull a bowling ball, it's going to be smoother. So the duller a bowling ball is, the smoother it's going to be. The shinier a bowling ball is, the sharper it's going to be. Christopher Jones, I got the Equinox on Sunday. Hey, enjoy, enjoy. Curb, you may have seen in the Discord, but my NV Tour came in. Hey, congrats. You were able to get one of the last NV Tours. Good job. Revs, hello. Corey, do you feel like there's any truth in what Bowler's Paradise Ben had to say about these bowling balls? They're basically the same, and there's a bunch of overlap. That's a deep question. We hit it a little bit earlier, but yes, there is 100% truth to it. 110%. There is truth to what Ben is saying. There are a lot of bowling balls that get released that their goal is sales, and they know it's going to sell. Brighter colors sell really well. Bowling balls that have names that have come out in the past sell really, really well. Also, M40 Music, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Bowling balls that are super niche, like the Torpedo Direct Hit, they'll sell well. They will 100% sell well. So there are bowling balls that are made as we need a quick buck. There are bowling balls made that they know this is not going to sell well, but we're going to try to push the hell out of it and see if it does, and then get rid of it in 6 months. Radical's entire lineup, their idea is we are going to push bowling balls and then we're going to get rid of them in 6 months because they just stop selling. So we just pull them. We want a bowling ball to have a very limited window that it's sold. So yes, 100%, he is right that there are a lot of bowling balls made just to sell, and there's a lot of bowling balls that are very similar. Now, I think the thing that a lot of people who are actually hanging out right now, one thing to remember for all of you guys are probably top 10% of bowlers in the nation, in the world, probably top 10 to 20%, because you're educated. This is because you're like, look what you're doing right now. You're watching a YouTube, a TikTok, or a Twitch stream, or all three. That's the pro super users here. But you're watching a live stream about bowling. A lot of bowlers don't do that. A lot of bowlers. This was an analogy made. I'm a big Call of Duty guy, right? And that was an analogy made in the Call of Duty video when people are complaining about, like, there's something called skill-based matchmaking. You compete against people that are around your skill level, and people don't like it. They want to go against the rest of the world. But they said the people watching this YouTube video right now and care about that, they're the top like 5% of players. Like all of you here, you guys are more educated than 90% of bowlers probably, because you're hanging out watching bowling in your free time. And the people who don't know that, like, Storm, Rotogrip, and 900 Global are all poured they're the same company. Hammer, Brunswick, Radical, Deviate, all of them, same exact company. They don't know that. So a lot of people just throw like Hammer, for example, and they refuse any other Brunswick stuff. We've had that in our pro shop a few times. You'll try to ask somebody like, hey, you have, I don't know, say the Effect. How would you feel about like this new Brunswick Crown Victory? And they're like, oh, I refuse to throw Brunswick. I will never throw Brunswick in my life. And it's like, well, you are throwing Brunswick. That is a Brunswick ball in your bag. All of your bag is Brunswick equipment, but it has a Hammer logo on the side. So yes, TLDR, yes, Ben has saying a lot of truth to that. That a lot of bowling balls are made for sales and a lot are very similar. Whew, that was a mouthful. All right. Quick shameless plug. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to follow if you haven't. Make sure to like if you haven't. It's the easiest way to help support the channel, and then we'll keep making a ton of videos, ton of live streams, all of that fun stuff. My name is Zach, by the way, for anyone new here, the one who runs ZVL Bowling. We have as much unbiased content, news, bowling ball reviews, tips, tricks, pro shop tips, more, all on the channel. So I'd really appreciate if you subscribe and follow. Then you can see a lot more content that is coming out. But let us keep on going. We have a full Q&A going on right now, along with talking the Belmo versus Rash debate. Rash's first comments about integrity, Belmo's potential vaping. We have topics about Bowler's Paradise. Ben from Bowler's Paradise is retiring from YouTube. He announced just a couple hours ago. Very sad day. We love Ben. He does an awesome job. I've never actually met him. I think I bowled a tournament against him once or twice. I think he came to Minnesota to bowl. I think he's from Wisconsin or lives in Wisconsin right now. Not positive on that. If Ben's in the chat right now, I'd love to let me know. Not full address unless you really want a lot of mail coming your way. But yeah, he is officially retiring from YouTube. That is a really, really good bowling ball reviewer who is backing away, which is a sad day. But let's keep talking all of these comments because I am about 15 minutes behind over on the YouTube world. Gandhi, should I drill a GB5 Pearl or go with something new? Current arsenal is Hyperdrive, Star, Hammer. I think a GB5 Pearl would work for you, Gandhi. Jordan B, 25 games on a new ball, wipey throw with leather, spray tack up and clean with cloth. Ball isn't tacky anymore and doesn't feel clean. That is very interesting. You might need a resurface. Also, Joshua Braidhorse with a $5 super chat. Joshua, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. We're giving a heart to that. Joshua, trying to learn how to play third arrow as a lefty, how to position the body and where to look. Yeah, so for your eyes, make sure to look third arrow. You're going to move your feet further right for you just to account for being a lefty. The big thing that some people forget is your shoulders do need to turn in the direction that you're facing. So the more you hook the lane, you have to turn your shoulders towards your target. So for you, you're going to turn your body further left. You're just going to twist that torso a little bit so that you can throw in that direction. Because if your shoulders are straight, your arm isn't going to want to go that way and you're going to pull every single shot. So make sure your shoulders are facing the right direction. Make sure that torso and that trunk are facing the direction of your target. Dead polymers. The rule is DQ of vaping during competition. A fine if in a jersey while not competing. Oh, that's the rule. Thank you, Polymer. Appreciate that. Phil Cardinal quoted the specific rule on his podcast earlier. Oh, they talked about it. Interesting. What was their take, Polymers? It's two Storm guys, so I'd be very curious what his take was. And I don't know if Rash left Brunswick on good terms or not. It's always 50-50 if they leave on good terms. Because Rash was given a bag to stay with Brunswick before he went over to Global, who gave him a bigger bag. James D practicing on the tungsten pattern. Nice. Using the Venoms. The thrills will be too weak to start. Yes, they'll be a little too weak and a little too angular for you. Jordan Griffin, have you ever seen the cooler hack to extract oil? What's the cooler hack? I've never seen it, Jordan. Let me know. Harris ETP. PBA tour that day, that Malaysian bowlers champion. Isn't me or the bowlers play thumb roll? If the bowlers plays thumb roll. I don't know what you mean there, Harris. Let me know. Try rewording it a little bit and let me know. I see a lot of people saying you go to dual angle layout. Seifel, I do. I love dual angle. I was trying to use VLS a little bit more yesterday. I'm a dual angle kid at heart, but I want to try a little more VLS. If you're a two-hander, go 2LS. 2LS is eons better than anything else. However, if you're not a two-hander, I recommend dual angle. VLS is a lot harder and you need better tools to be specific, where if you do dual angle, it's just distances. You just need a quarter scale and you're good to go. Let's see. Revs on the left got a new phone. This is my first stream on it. Hey, I hope we look beautiful on your new phone. I hope you got 4K. Apologies if I don't. That is the phone's fault, not my face's fault. Absolutely. Rev Dude, you're a senior low speed, low rev. I'm getting a lethal venom. On the layout, should I go pin up or down? Low speed, low rev. I would still go pin up. That ball is weak enough, so I'd go pin up and you'll be good. Depending on where your PAP is, of course. If you have a stereotypical PAP, then I think that'll be good. John Rogers, what's your thoughts on the Phase AI? I'm honestly not a fan. I had one. I threw a lot of games on it. It was good for about 5 games, and the reaction just got kind of weird for my ball roll. I think if you're very up the back of the ball, so your ball rolls that way and not sideways, then I think it's really good. The minute your ball starts going a little bit sideways, it does not roll that well, in my opinion. I don't know why. I don't know if the cover is too strong or too weak. I think it's too weak. It wasn't good for what I wanted to see. A lot of people like it, though. I remember I talked bad about it on a review at some point, or on, I think, a top 6 Arsenal video, and people did not like that I had bad things to say about it, which is fair. Every bowling ball is somebody's favorite bowling ball. Because I think I talked kind of mid about the Equinox, and people love that thing. And I have one now, too, and I do see why a lot of people like it, so totally fair. Cody Hoffman, what ball is the same as the TNT infused? I would say something, it's got to be something like between the Zen 25 and the Road Warrior. That was kind of a ball that fit in between, and there isn't a ball in between those two right now. Phase AI is probably the closest. Actually, yeah, Phase AI is probably the closest. Hey, Playful Movement, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm interested in the Lethal Venom, but worried it's too close to my Sub-Zero, given the cover is the same. Is it enough of a step down? Yeah, it's still enough of a step down. The cores are way different, so don't worry about that. M40 Music. My current arsenal is RST Hyperdrive, Effect, Rockstar, Zen 25, and Hyper. RST Hyperdrive, Effect, Rockstar, Zen 20. Yeah, I think it looks really good, M40. Also, Jess V. Boss, thank you for the master tier over on YouTube. Welcome, welcome to the membership. Enjoy the ad-free viewing. Enjoy all the perks that come with it and full access to a full guide to all of my files that I use for all of my bowling ball reviews, all my rankings, and all that fun stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hanson and Drina. I'm a two-handed bowler. I just got my Brunswick Edge Red re-drilled, a rubber ball. Wow. The oil track went in the middle of my finger holes. I think that might be because the ball is so weak and how you roll it. I don't think that's a problem. Rubber balls are very odd nowadays, so they don't really work well on synthetic, so I don't think that's the ball's fault or really your throw. I think it is the ball's fault. Sorry, not your throw. Knobs, great to have someone knowledgeable to ask. Among the best bowling content on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Knobs. Appreciate that. By the way, they have a discount for bowling balls this Easter. Any new ball for a set price. Is the Belmo ball worth it, or should I get something else? The Belmo ball is really good if you need something stronger with a lot of angle. But otherwise, there are other balls that can work. There's a ton of great options on the market right now. Dominic, hey, Zach, I know this is a random question. What size bowling shoes do I wear? I wear 13s. I did just get a new pair of KR Strike Forces. I was using Dexter for a while, but I'm going back to KR. KR is what I had before these, and I loved them. Super soft, super comfy, fit really well. I went over to Dexter because I needed a pair of shoes quickly, and they were cheap. And they were okay. They were not as comfy, but they were really durable, is what I noticed. But I'm going to try going back to KR just really to try it at the end of the day. Try something different. I'll give you guys a full review of what I think of it later on, though. Nick Tour, what's your opinion on the Rockstar? I think the Rockstar is really good. Rockstar is basically a weaker phase 2, and PBA guys adore it. A lot of other people are really liking that ball right now. Really liking the ball. Steve on Nin, did you say Torpedo Direct Hit was good? No. Always wonder why pros don't throw them more. The reason pros don't throw weak equipment, I know that's one of the biggest like comments people give to pros is like, they should throw a weaker ball and move right. It's not, the problem is you don't have any room with that. And there's nobody on the planet who can hit a nickel down lane 10 times in a row. It's just not possible. So to give yourself the most room for error, the way to do it is continually moving left with stronger equipment to be able to make the corner, because you need to chase the oil line. Your goal in bowling at the end of the day is give yourself the most room for error. Usually the way to do that is have hold in and hook left, hold in and hook out. So that's why they use stronger balls and don't throw weaker stuff. So I guarantee all those Brunswick guys, they threw those direct hits in a video and then they never touched them again. I guarantee they gave them away to fans already because they will never touch those things. Kind of like I don't think the Typhoon will get used at all. That's why it's shocking that the Max Thrills get used so often on tour. They are used all the time. Hey, Roy Larson, what is going on, man? Hanging out on TikTok. Good to see you. What's your take on the Identity? The Identity is good. The Identity is really good at the end of the day. It is an Equinox, but sharper. So it's a little, there's a lot of good, strong ASIMs on the market. It's a good ball. I haven't heard a negative thing about it, which is kind of surprising. Usually by this point, I hear some negativity about bowling balls, but no, that one overall, it's been very positive. James D, what do you think of synthetic pins? Synthetic pins are really cool when you can carry. When your ball's going through the pins the right way, they're awesome. Twister pins, synthetic pins are the best thing ever. Wood pins are always consistent. They're the most consistent, but they break easier. Synthetic pins never break at all. They chip very rarely. They're super durable, and they make crazy messengers, as you guys saw on the tour show this weekend. However, twisters are awful if you can't get your ball through the pins the right way. If your ball's not going through the pins the right way, you're splitting like crazy. You're leaving some 10 pin after 10 pin after 10 pin. Garrett, drink of the day. Today is a Mountain Dew kickstart because I needed a little pick-me-up today. Mountain Dew, I would love a sponsorship. Will, I'm looking to get a Sublime Focus and going 5x5x2. Yeah, that's really good for that, actually. That's really good for that. Yofo, I like D-Tang, but I take his and other staffer reviews with a grain of salt. Yes, 100%. That's always a good idea. Take every review with a grain of salt. Biased, unbiased, doesn't matter who it is. I recommend watching a lot of reviews, but be wary of what they say, because a lot of people are trying to sell the equipment to you. That is their job. A staffer's job is to sell gear, is to sell equipment, make it look really good, and sell more bowling balls. That is your job as a staffer with a company. So always be wary of that. But yes, there are some fantastic things to be able to see in those ball reviews too. Don Clifton, what's going on? Anyone ripping vapes? No one today. We don't need to get DQ'd from an event, Don. Gandhi, please do videos on drilling layout basics. I do need to make some. I think this summer what I'm going to do is get into our pro shop a little bit more and actually make some videos on it. I need to get the right setups and everything. I actually just picked up some actual good mics to have with my main cam. The mics I had didn't work with it, so I haven't been able to use my actual vlog camera. So now that I have a good camera, we're good to go. Bunch of new content coming soon. I see Curb. Now with the NV Tour, New Blue, and the Vibe, what do you recommend? Not getting another soon-ish? I think something in between. Something in between the NV Tour and the Ocean Vibe. So something like middle of the road symmetric. Yeah, these Hollyland ones, Smitty, I found and they had really good reviews. I haven't opened it. The plastic's still on it, actually. So I don't know if it's good. Let's hope it is. But you say it is, which is awesome. I'm excited for that. Garrett, how do you feel about the CTD ball reviews? Ron is calling the Crown Victory a benchmark. Yeah, no, they're generally really good. They don't throw many shots. The problem with ball reviewers who do every bowling ball like those guys is you throw, 2 games with a bowling ball and then you're just pumping out videos. You're pumping out videos. I don't think it's a benchmark. It's not a benchmark. It's too shiny. It's too angular. A benchmark should probably be smoother. It is probably a medium shiny bowl or medium sharp bowling ball is my guess. I see it similar to a Road Warrior where it's a weaker end medium sharp ball or like an IQAI. Chico, Attention Star versus IQAI versus Evoke Hysteria. Evoke Hysteria is the earliest and the smoothest. The Attention Star is right after. And the IQAI is latest. Nicholas, worst type of pins. Broken ones. Old wood pins are the worst. Brand new wood pins and very, very old wood pins are the 2 worst kind of pins by far. Then I'd say synthetics, and then middle of the road wood pins are best. Seifel, favorite layout. It depends on the ball. I have gone with a lot of shorter pins lately. So yesterday I drilled out a Storm Journey and I drilled it 4.5 by 75 and it rolls really good. I drilled my Equinox similar to that and it rolls good. However, I drilled that Deviate Chill Pearl that I got from the mystery ball at 4 inches by 20 degrees. I've been trying to go, that one was kind of a wonky one to see what it would do because that Chill Pearl is not a good ball at the end of the day. Apologies to everybody. It's not great. It looks cool. It rolls okay, but it doesn't roll. There's better pearl balls out there. But I want to try something different on it. So I've been trying bigger, longer vowels lately or wider vowel angles. James D, I think the Motive does the put a ball out just to sell thing the least. They do because they release so little. Motive is, I'd say if you had to rank the ball companies based on putting bowling balls out that fit gaps, you'd go Motive is best. Motive by far. Their goal is to fill gaps. You can see that on their ball charts. They don't get rid of a bowling ball until it's really, really just dead and gone. Nuclear Forge, for example, may it rest in peace. It wasn't doing well. It wasn't a great ball. They kept it on probably too long, in my opinion. But then they come out with the Evoke Hysteria to take its place and they discontinue the Nuclear to try to make something, just try to make something better for that slot. They don't really have any overlap in their balls, which is pretty cool. Brunswick has the most because they pump out so many bowling balls. They pump out double the bowling balls of everybody else. I think it might be a little lower now. But then Storm is in the middle. They try to hit some gaps, but you can tell there's some cell bait going on at times too. Burkford, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Appreciate it. Jackson Harris, strongest pearl ball that Storm makes. Harsh Reality Pearl was the strongest. I don't remember if that's still in production. If not, I think next is the Equinox, honestly. I think it's the Equinox after that. Burkford just got a Tribal from my grandpa. What is the best quality? The Tribal is old. It is a very old Motive ball. I believe it's really smooth if I remember right. Jackson Harris, strong Pearl Storm ball. Equinox is probably the strongest. Otherwise, you're going to go the Identity after that. Otherwise, next is the Identity. Black Star Piece, what's going on, man? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Quick question. Can you recommend me a low diff solid ball? 035 to 039. My hover rate sends everything left via a private jet. You have an X-ray and a tour. Ooh. Arctic Vibe hooks a lot. Max Thrill Solid might not be a bad play. It's a little stronger. It's going to be a little sharper than those two, though. That would probably be best. You might want something a little higher diff, though, because it's going to then hook earlier and be a little smoother. Smitty, wouldn't the physics blackout? Oh, you're right. My bad. I forget. I feel so bad that I forget the physics blackout is a bowling ball that exists because it is good. It is very good, but I forget it's there all the time. It is the strongest pearl ball. You are 100% right, Smitty. That is my bad. That is the strongest pearl ball from the Storm brands by far. My fault, my fault. Also, Jordan Griffin just joined the Discord. Hey, thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. We do have a Discord, by the way. A link is in all my descriptions. We talk everything bowling in there. So we have a ton of bowling chats going on. We have like 300 to 400 people right now. Really appreciate if you guys join. It's the best quick way to get bowling information. James came back to bowling after 15 years, started getting new equipment. I've been getting a new ball every 1 to 2 weeks. Identity is the 5th in a row like this. I think if you're getting into it, it is a good thing to do to try different bowling balls to see what works and what doesn't. I think everyone really needs to know what balls are good for their role versus what balls are really bad. So I get it. Hey, check MP. What's going on? Twan, any thoughts between the Attention Star versus the Hysteria? The Hysteria is going to be a lot earlier and a lot smoother than the Attention Star. Smitty, what is the Discord? Link is in all of our bio. So Discord is dumb where you need an actual link to join. Not dumb, but it's odd. Let's see. We have Jess V Boss. Last Thursday in League, I rolled a 255. Nothing but strikes till the 9th. Nice. 5th game using the track Cypher. Hey, love to see that. Love to see that. Obeek, from what I understand last week, a young amateur got caught vaping and they did get DQ'd. Oh, I don't know about a young amateur. No, Obeek, it was Jason Belmonte who he thought was vaping, is what the story is right now. Brian Dunny, Belmo-Rash should do a celeb boxing match. I'm in. I think WrestleMania is a great play. Janet Burrow, my top throw pearl is really sharp. If I knock the shine off, it will tame it down. It'll absolutely tame it down. Also, what plastic ball do you recommend? I always recommend the T-zones or the white dots. They are the cheapest and most durable plastic balls you can buy. If you want something different color, the mix is a good option. Otherwise, the ice is probably the prettiest spare ball on the market right now. Hey, Rex, what's going on? The Bowling QA Master. That's what we're here for. Answer all of those questions. We don't know how to spell Q&A, but we can answer questions. Dominic, cool. I wear Dexter 14s. God, you have a huge foot, my dude. Yeesh. That is not an easy thing to find. Kaysen, Belmo got caught vaping. He didn't get caught per se. He did not get caught on video or with actual eyewitnesses, but it was a rumor and Sean Rash did potentially see him vaping. He saw him do something and grab something in a shoe cover that potentially was a vape, is what it is right now. It's why Belmo did not get kicked out of the Players' Championship. Very, very interesting story. Be the Fury currently have BSI shoes. They're, I think, the cheaper option, if I remember right. Your 3 best options are 3G, KR Strike Force, and Dexter. I'd recommend surfing the web for a few of those. Now, I do want to warn everybody here, this is a little bit of like breaking news per se, not really, but due to the political things going on right now, there's going to be a lot of bowling products that are going to get hit by the China tariffs and they're not going to be sent over. I think most, if not all, bowling shoes are actually made in China. So be ready for some issues with bowling shoes potentially coming. So if you need some, I'd recommend right now. I'd recommend sooner rather than later. But that is my assumption right now. Be the Fury, we hit Vision. What other hammer ball would you pair with an Arctic Vibe? Speed dominant one-hander? You might like something a little stronger. You might like an effect or a special effect. It's going to be a lot stronger, but it could fit really well since you're more speed dominant. Sericapia, any thoughts on the Hyperdrive? Really, really good bowling ball. One of the top 4 ASIM solids on the market today by a landslide. That thing is amazing. A lot of the PBA guys have actually switched over to the Hyperdrive from the Ion Max, which is a good sign, which is a really, really good sign. Sericapia, I demoed the Hyperdrive. What's your opinion? Oh, yeah. Doesn't feel like a house ball. Yeah, it's definitely a high volume ball. It hooks a lot. It is a very early. It's not as early as the Ion because the RG is higher, but it is still really good ball, actually. Nicholas, Troublemaker Solid, one-handed layout. Ooh. One-handed layout ideas, it depends what you want it to do. The diff is a little bit lower on that ball, so you can go like I think a 4.5-inch pin is still a-okay on that thing. It's not too strong. And then like I like going versatile on a lot of my solids. If you want it to be slower down lane, go with like a 65-degree val angle. Remember, the first angle doesn't really matter in dual angle for a symmetrical ball. Gandhi, can we see hybrid version of Attention Star? We do with the S2. The S2 is the hybrid version of the Attention Star. Dominic, they're getting too small and no one company makes bigger than 14. Bowling ball shoe companies, and I'm very sorry, they are terrible with bigger size shoes. Bigger size feet, they're so bad with, and I hate it. It's so unfortunate because there are bowlers with like size 15, 16, but there aren't many options. You have to really special order sometimes, and it sucks. So I know that's one of the hardest things. We always had a pair of 15s in our pro shop that we got special just in case. We've had them for years, unfortunately, and no one's bought them. We do have them. If you have size 15 feet, Owatonna, Minnesota, we have them for you. Nick Tour, Belmo is throwing the Typhoon on the video he posted earlier. I thought I was watching, so we were watching the show, and I think I said the Typhoon is going to be the greatest selling bowling ball of all time if Belmo won that match and then used it on Sunday. If he made it look good in that match, it was going to be the best selling ball, but he made it look really bad. Which is unfortunate because the ball from like one of our pro shop guy drilled it and he loves it. He says it rolls sick and he's a phenomenal bowler in his own right. And Belmo didn't make it look great, which is kind of sad. He might have killed a few ball sales from the Typhoon. James D, has anyone at your shop ever laid out and drilled a lefty ball righty? All the time. Symmetrical balls, it's usually okay if the CG's kicked to left. It's not the worst thing in the world. Asymmetrical balls, they're going to roll like doo-doo. Absolutely. Let's see. We have so many. Quick little side note for everybody. A little shameless plug. Make sure to subscribe and follow if you haven't. Helps me out an absolute ton. It's the best way to support the channel. And then you get notified whenever we have videos going live on any platform. We are live on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube right now. We have like probably 160, 170 people hanging out in general right now. Thank you all so much, combined with all the platforms. Thank you all so much. My name's Zach. If you're new here, I'd really like it if you subbed. It'd help out a ton. And then this won't be the last time we see each other. And you can still get all of the bowling news. We have videos going out all the time. So if you want to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest bowling balls, bowling news, bowling tips, bowling tricks, bad bowling jokes, make sure to check out the channel. But let us keep going. We are a full Q&A right now, and we are also talking about Belmo-Rash vaping incident of 2025, the biggest bowling news of the year. We never mentioned Ethan Fiore absolutely smoking the championship match with Nerves of Steel with a Max Thrill Hybrid, a polished Max Thrill Hybrid. At the Players Championship this week. We also did not talk anything about the Brunswick balls releasing this week. There's the Crown Victory, the Rally, which is just the Speed 3.0 because it's the third time they've come out with the same exact speed ball, just with slightly different cover stock. And then we have the Cypher Pearl coming out. And then we have the Typhoon coming out Friday and the Max Thrill Hybrid coming out next Wednesday. A lot of bowling balls coming out. A lot of fun times ahead. Let's catch up over here. Gandhi, what does a weak core mean? Weak core usually means higher RG and lower differential. That'll mean the core is a little bit weaker. The ball's going to hook further down lane. Let's see. Chico, Tribal Fire is one of the best balls I've ever thrown. A lot of people are like Team Tribal, like for Motive. Some of the old Motive stuff has like cult followings, which is awesome. Black Star Piece, you love your V-Bow, drilled 4x4x4. Nice. Love to see it. That ball is the GOAT. Lefty, IQ AI, Road Warrior, and Zen 25. I got the AI when looking for dry lane balls, but haven't locked in with it. I like the look of the Road Warrior. Should I still try one out? If you don't like how the IQ feels for you, try sanding it. It's a lot better sanded, in my opinion, than polished. Polished, it is super angular. Derek Speed 3.0 is hilarious. It is. It 100% is. And I apologies to any Brunswick fans. The Rally is just the speed, and I believe it's the high speed. They're the same ball, same cover, same core. They just added HK22 on the high speed, or the top speed, I forget which. And then they just added HK22C on the Rally. Same exact balls. Same exact things. They are literally identical. And I learned about it while recording the video, which made it so much funnier. Yofo, the plastic balls at the bowling alley still hook for me. Should I expect the same if I get a spare ball like a T-zone? The T-zone will hook later, actually, than a house ball. House balls are really more urethane-y. So they are and they are dull. So the T-zone will be very, very shiny. Richard Zhang, your thoughts on the 24 open teams pattern? Hard. Very, very, very difficult. Any of the team patterns are very hard. Very, very hard. Best to play very straight on them. Let's see. We have Brush Lime. I bowl a senior slow rolling, but can't break carry down. You're going to probably want some smoother equipment then to help. Let's see. Kaysen. Met him at attorney, at a youth attorney in MN a couple years ago. Nice guy, just short temper on tour. Ooh, who are you talking about? Hold on. I want to catch. We got some tea going on? I'd have missed that. What? He is not afraid of confrontation from Kaysen. What are you guys talking? Kaysen and Jordan. Who are you talking about? I would have been legendary if he signed it. He declined. Best autograph story. What? I missed that. Kaysen, I had a buddy ask Belmo to sign a water bottle after his bottle incident. That's awesome. Belmo's usually a pretty good sport about that stuff at the end of the day. He's a really good sport usually. Let's see. Chico, I've sent in a ball idea to a few motive reps and they loved it. It was a Venom with the Gear APG core and the Propulsion MXV or FYJ. I bet we'll see FYJ on a we've never, sorry, I'm gonna backtrack. We've never had a Pearl asymmetrical Venom before. Never in history. Hey, Sarah Capia, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it's very, very odd that we haven't yet, but it'd be cool to see. I'd love to see it. Let's see. Sarah Capia, do you enjoy Don Johnson sport pattern? I don't know what that is, honestly. Don Johnson oil pattern. This year's Don Johnson oil pattern. I wish there was a way we didn't have to download the oil patterns. It is, we have, okay, go back to my other screen. You're going to see my head going all over the place because I have so many monitors up. 40 feet. 36 mils, Jesus, 2-to-1 ratio. Wow. Get your sanding pads ready, Sarah Capia. Get your sanding pads up and at 'em. Lawrence Derby, what's going on? Good luck at Scratch League tonight. Good luck. David Jones, so you're looking for a particular behavior like medium smooth for a new ball, and you're looking at balls from 3 different companies, but you need a sub 14-pound ball. The cores are different, but is the performance equally relative to their heavier versions? Do the comparisons change? No. For the short answer, no. The comparisons are still the same, but be wary of the core changes. If the core changes are crazy massive, then you have to take it with a grain of salt. The best thing to do if you bowl 14 pounds, because you're going to see every reviewer, including me, talk about the 15-pound forms, is learn what RG, differential, and intermediate differential mean. If you learn that, it's going to help you be able to pick and choose what bowling balls are best. For medium smooth, you're going to want like a 248 to 250 RG. You're going to want like an 048 to an 053 differential is going to be your play and generally symmetrical. James D, accidentally drilled wrong-handed for a customer. Have I? I think I have. I think I've drilled lefty balls righty. I remember one specifically, because we bought a new ball, or I bought a new ball for them. I think it was only one time. I have drilled the fingers accidentally into each other. That was one of the first balls I ever drilled. We had to rush. It was a guy who was going to a college tournament. He was freaking out. He had to get the ball drilled super fast, and we had to plug it super fast. I quickly get it on the press. It's one of the first balls I've drilled. I'm sweating buckets because it's one of my first bowling balls drilled, and I drilled the fingers into each other. That was great. Super fun. It was on a Chaos Black, by the way. I specifically remember the bowling ball because the plug for it was really easy because it was all black. Speed 3.0 is hilarious. Gary B19, can you explain pin down versus pin up? Yeah, so first of all, pin down versus pin up can change depending on your ball roll, depending on your positive axis point. So we're going to go stereotypical pin down versus stereotypical pin up. What pin up will do is it increases the flare. So what it does is it makes your ball hook earlier and makes it sharper down lane. Pin down stuff makes the ball hook later, but makes it smoother when it sees friction. So that's the pin up versus pin down difference. Let's see. Chris Perez, what ball would you recommend? I've got a GB5 and I throw two-handed backup. You were looking at an Ion. I would avoid the Ion Max. The Ion Pro could be good though. Don't get the Max though. I don't think you'll need a super strong ball. I did see Ken over here threw the new Hammerhead, and that thing is strong. Yeah, it looks really strong overall. Absolutely does. Max, thoughts on the Hammer Effect Tour as a step down from the Pi? I think it could work. You might need the Tour at like 3000 grit, but absolutely will work. Curve, I'm looking at a Scorpion Strike for an in-between the Tour and the Vibe. Yes, absolutely good choice. That Strike is still phenomenal. Brushed Lime. What do you think of the Black Widow 3.0? Don't see any of those on tour. You don't really see Black Widows on tour that much, except from Bill O'Neill. O'Neill adores Black Widows. Not many other people do on tour, but it's still a really good ball. It's still tried and true, one of the best hammer balls ever made. So yeah, I think a Black Widow 3.0 is still really good. Richard, you're right. Balls did not hook at all. Oh, absolutely. 33 mils of oil is bunkers. That's a lot. Richard, good to know it wasn't just us. Oh, absolutely. No, it is a lot. And David, thanks for the info. Time to learn diff and RG. Absolutely. It's always good to know that. The more education you have about the bowling balls, the better. So you can understand what they all do. The issue with bowling is it's still a new enough area, especially bowling balls, where there's a lot of misinformation about bowling balls. There's a lot of misinformation, a lot of old information that isn't actually that accurate anymore. So it's best to stay educated on the topics on bowling balls, on what makes a ball hook and things like that. Logan just got the physics blackout, and it's a really good ball. It is. I think it's getting looked over, but it is on sale right now, by the way, on a lot of companies. So make sure to go check it out if you're interested in a really strong sharp ball, really strong pearl ball. That's going to be a little bit smoother. Absolutely great bowling ball. Let's see. Michael McSmith, did you see Bowling Paradise is taking a break? Was saying it's too many bowling balls coming out at the same time, and they all are kind of the same. Guess he was saying companies are just being money hungry. Yeah, it wasn't, Michael, it wasn't as extreme as that per se. So yes, he was saying that there's a lot of bowling balls that are similar and that are there for the sales. Not all bowling balls. He didn't mention all. He just said some. I think he gave a number, a percentage, but I don't remember what it was. But he is correct. There are bowling balls that are made just for sales. And he was 100% right on the torpedo direct hit. I was baffled. I was listening to it at work, actually. I think it was during lunch. Yeah, it was at lunch. I was watching it, and my eyes just got huge when he brought up the direct hit and said, yeah, this ball sucks. And he's right. He is. That ball's not good. I'm sorry. Sorry, Radical. Wasn't a good choice. It probably sold well, but that ball was made just for sales. And there are a lot of bowling balls like that. There are bowling balls that are made for the bowlers, absolutely. All the companies still care. All the core designers, the cover designers are trying to make the best balls they can. There are just sometimes they are like, well, we have these, and we know it's going to sell well if we put a bright color on it and a cool logo. Because, before the core, like the core sometimes matches another ball, but otherwise it's all marketing. So, yeah, he is right. He is right in a lot of ways, but it isn't as extreme as like all the companies are money hungry. They all do still care about the bowlers a lot and want to make good equipment. Chris Perez got an as soon as you answer my question. Chris, I said yes, an Ion Pro would be good, not an Ion Max, Chris. Gandhi, which company produces the best inserts? I'm a fan of, I use a lot of Vice right now, but Turbo is also great. I haven't used Jopo, actually. I've never used the new Jopo grips. Let me know if you guys like them in the comments. I'd be very curious to hear. Brush Lime. I was at Players. Everyone was using the IQ Tour. Really, at the Players? Interesting. I know they were using weaker equipment, but cool. The IQ Tour will never die. It's not going anywhere. I love that about it, though. Weekos, hey, what's going on? Have you bowled on red square? Don't. Just don't bowl on red square. All right, we're going to hear a quick Zach rant. Apologies in advance. Red square is the least talent pattern you can ever bowl on. 100%. Red square all the time in an amateur competition, even on the tour level, turns into who can make spares, and it turns into who can get lucky enough and not leave enough splits. 100%. It turns into who can play straight and who can pray to God that they Brooklyn a couple times on doubles. Every flat pattern plays the exact same. They all turn into who can just have the least amount of angle on their bowling ball and who can carry a Brooklyn one more time than everybody else. That's it. So in Little Falls too, dumpster fire. Not the building. It's not bad anymore, but that's going to play like hot garbage. Absolutely. Bring urethane, play plastic up the gutter. Don't use angle. Do not get left. Do not get left. Do not throw right. It's going to play awful. It's disgusting. I am never a fan of red square, especially now because it has so little oil on it in today's day. So you need like plastic or urethane and just play directly straight. That is my flat pattern rant. Flat patterns do not show that you are better. There we go. I have a strong hatred for flat patterns. Don Clifton, any gaps for this one-handed lefty? 375 revs and 17.5 miles an hour. Black Widow 3.0, Harsh Reality Pearl, Phase 2 Duo, Black Venom, Hustle M&M, Pitch Black. The Duo, I think the Duo situation is the toughest because the Duo isn't very angular. So if you need an angular ball, you don't really have one. So I would go, I mean, you might need something there, like a Primal Rage or a Road Warrior or something like that above the Hustle M&M. And that's if you want to get a little, but you're a lefty. So that does work really well. You might not actually need anything there. Honestly, Don, I really like that. Looking at it again, sorry, doubling back. But I really like it. The only thing you might need is something below the Black Venom. Maybe like a Hustle X-Ray if you like your M&M. That would be an option. Richard Zhang, if you love SPI, you should get an Identity. Really good ball. James D. Jesper moved into the top spot. Ooh, the left is in play. Jesper is coming back. Jesper has done really well this year yet. Gandhi, what's your ball launch speed, rev rate, and average speed? Oh, good question. I have no idea. I would say I'm a little more on the speed dominant end, especially because of the ball roll. So ball launch speed is probably around 19 would be my guess. About 19 miles an hour. It's actually lowered a little bit than it used to be. Rev rate, I'd say I'm around 350 to 380. And average speed is around, I'd say around that 19. Modus. All the houses around me are bone dry for open bowling. Direct hit is more usable. Yeah, no, absolutely. I get that. That's where that direct hit is going to be really good. That direct hit is going to be really, really good for that situation, for when there's no oil. Or if you're insanely rev dominant. Those are going to be the best spots. Jordan Griffin, my PSO put out red square after I'd only been bowling for 6 months, told me to try it out. Ugh, gross. Trey Holland, how do I play the 49-foot US Open pattern? I don't remember what that one was this year. US Open pattern, 49 feet. Let's see. Is it that one? Oh, it's the dead flat one. You have to play up the gutter. It's the only option. It's also very, very hard. It's very flat. Ugh. Don, I'm thinking of a Typhoon. Typhoon could work. It's going to be a little close to the M&M. That's the one issue. Only issue. Weekos, thanks for the info. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed the rant. Curb, thank God we don't have Clash Royale situation with bowling ball companies. God, I love Battle of the Brands style battles. I think they're really cool. Rid, have you tried the Equinox? I do. I really like it. I haven't thrown it outside of my home center because I haven't bowled many tournaments lately. But I did like it because it did blend the wet dry better than I expected. It's very smooth though. It's much smoother than I thought it would be. So I can't use it from very far left before I notice angle issues. It's really good from second, third, and like almost fourth arrow. Not quite fourth arrow though. Stefan, I'm really starting to use Jopo. They are good to me. Awesome. That's good to hear. Tyler, what balls do you recommend for dry lanes, not necessarily burnt? You're going to want weaker bowling balls overall. Just weaker smooth and weaker sharp are going to be the best play. Michael McNeely, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Steve, Packy and others through the direct hit hooked a bunch. That was arguably, I'm sorry to the PBA guys. That video with Packy and those guys was arguably the biggest video of false advertising I've seen in a while. Everyone there had 450 plus rev rate. They were throwing it slow and the ball was yamming. I'm guessing they drilled him super strong. Those guys can make anything hook. So your torpedo will probably not do that. Those guys were trying to make that thing whale and it worked. Honestly, I bet it sold a lot of balls. I bet Packy did great there because they're pushing Packy really hard to sell bowling balls right now because he's good at it, because his channel is so big and he has such a good following. But it was very bad false advertising, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. I wish it wasn't. James, I practiced on the 52-foot US Open pattern. It was brutal. 52 feet is wild. You never realize how long 50 feet of oil is until you bowl on it and your ball doesn't hook and your ball goes straight. Then you realize, like, oh no, that didn't hook at all. Yofo, Belmo-Rash in a fight. Belmo would come out punching two-handed. See, that wouldn't work, though. Like, you just don't get any power on it. The two-handed punch is not a good play. It's not a good play. Greg Muncie, ball to go with my effect. Something smoother, something like a hammerhead could work really well. Troublemaker solid could work really well too, something like that. Delivery to Joe, is there a cost-effective method to discover your rev rate? Mine is low, but I'd like to get answers. Yes. What you do, first of all, throw a bowling ball. Throw a bowling ball, normal. You're going to have your oil rings around the ball. You're going to grab a white piece of thumb tape. You're going to cut off a chunk of it, and you're going to put it on your track. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get a video of your bowling ball going down the lane. You're going to make sure it's a video, and then you're going to count the amount of times you see that white tape go across the ball to count the revolutions. And then you can look up bowling ball rev rate calculator, and it'll help you determine what your rev rate actually is at. So that is the most cost-effective way of doing it without having to spend a dime. Chico, is it true that there's a venom for all conditions and shapes the average bowler would look for? Yes and no. There isn't really a venom for super heavy conditions or super light conditions, but otherwise, yes, there are. Gandhi, what do you think of 10-Pin Toolkit? I love 10-Pin Toolkit. One of the greatest bowling apps ever. It is arguably the best bowling app on the market today. Totally worth it. It's still, they should be charging so much more for it. It's such a weird thing to say, but it is such a good app at the end of the day. It does everything you need to bowling-wise. If you're a bowling nerd, you're going to adore it. Kaysen, did you bowl in the Pick Your Poison, that Andreessen one? I did. I did watch Zach smoke everybody as he does. Yeah. Yeah, I bowled a Pick Your Poison. This was a tournament where you had, I think in this tournament, we had 8 people make it to the next round. What happened is it was a bracket after that. The 1 seed was able to pick their opponent, 2 seed picked their opponent, 3 seed picked their opponent, and 4 seed took whoever was left. So you actually, instead of going 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, you actually picked who you wanted to bowl, add a little bit of a flair to it. And I did. I bowled 250 in game 1. We were bowling on the last year's team pattern. I played up the gutter for up about 7 or 8 actually with a Pink Widow. Looked awesome, shot 250. The next pair, it looked like garbage, shot 180. The next pair, it looked like even more garbage, and I shot 180. And then like 3 frames into the 4th game, I decided to switch over to reactive because my urethane looked so bad and was hooking so early. And I went 150, 140 and lost. Hey, Johnny Hoosier, what's going on over on Twitch? So yeah, and then I missed the cut by like 30. So I just needed like 180 in the last game to make cut, and I did not do it. So bowling's fun. Playful movement. Generally, weak and smooth balls are some of the cheapest on the market. Absolutely. Why is the Ion so expensive? Good question. It was marketed as a ball like the Phase 2 and IQ, and the Phase 2 and IQ are marked up a little bit because they're so good. So they're kind of banking on the Ion Pro being the same way, which is totally fair at the end of the day, but it is a little too pricey for the point, for how expensive, or for the performance. There we go. Words are hard. Yes. So that's why it's so expensive, which is a little unfortunate. I think it could be a little bit cheaper, in my opinion. I thought that was going to be the worst thing about that ball, is that it was just too pricey and it wouldn't sell, kind of like the Level. And the Level, that's true for. The Level's not selling well. The Ion Pro is selling really well. Really well. Johnny Hoosier, fun fact, Wes Malott works at my bowling place. Oh, that is awesome. That is super cool to have a Hall of Famer there. Oh, TikTok needs me to fix my stream. Oh, what? I missed? Thanks, TikTok. All right, we're good. All right, let's keep on going. Don Clifton, red square for a beginner is good for practicing spares. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So quick reminder for everybody who's still hanging out. Thank you, everybody who's hanging out right now. Really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe or follow on whatever platform you're on, because we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, and we're on TikTok at this moment streaming. Really appreciate some follows and some subscriptions everywhere. It's the easiest and cheapest way to be able to support the channel. All of it's completely free. Otherwise, make sure to drop a like. We have videos going out all the time, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel for a lot of cool videos. But let us keep going with some Q&A, along with talking about Belmo-Rash debate, with the vaping incident of 2025, which is similar to the bottle incident of 2015, maybe 2016. And then a lot of new bowling balls and a lot of other cool stuff going on. So let us keep going through some Q&A. Derek Vanish, the direct hit is a niche ball. It really is. It's bad, very niche. If you're high rev, low speed, you're probably going to like it. It's a bowling ball you can keep on the right side of the head pin, which is good. Corey Rosier, Bowler's Paradise just quit his review channel because of all the overlap. He said the direct hit is absolute crap and there are too many balls being made. I did absolutely watch that, and it is... He's right in a lot of ways. Not every way, like not all bowling balls are made to, like all bowling balls are made to sell. Absolutely. But not all bowling balls are made specifically just for a money grab. But yes, absolutely. There's a lot of overlap in the bowling world, especially the ball companies that have multiple brands. Like he mentioned, do you need a Sublime Focus, an Optimum Idol, a Phase 2, and a Rockstar? No, you don't need all four. There are differences. He is right, but the average bowler doesn't know those differences. Now, do you need 7 brands making bowling balls that are all very similar? No, not at all. But if they sell, they're going to keep doing it. Until the balls stop selling, they're going to stop doing it. Or they're going to go the other way and push more. Gandhi, have you answered my question on reading oil pattern sheets? I must have missed it, Gandhi. I saw your bowling ball, your 10-pin toolkit app, and I saw your question there, and I saw your insert question, but I did not see that one. I couldn't find it either quick. Steve, it was at the Players. No lefty did well, so maybe searching for reaction. Probably. Edison Narvaez, how do you feel about the IQ AI with surface? I think that's the best way the IQ AI should be. I think with a little bit of surface, it's really good. Tyler, the torpedo direct hit is hot garbage. Absolutely it is. Corey, how tall do you need to be in the Tall Bowlers Club? 6'3". Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Tall Bowlers Club. We're playing a sport that it's better to be a little shorter in. Delivery to Joe, you demand. Hey, thanks, man. Don Clifton, one of the houses in my area has Specto. It's pretty cool. Oh, absolutely. If you can find Specto, it's worth it. And James, would the tanks work on tungsten? Yeah, it would. It's short enough where I think the tanks would look really good. Ken R, my fun fact, Robert Smith drills my equipment. Did he make the cut this week, Ken? Did he? I think he might have made it to match play. He was bowling really well. I see Highline. Do you feel the IQ AI is better than the new Max Thrill Hybrid? I think they're different enough that it's hard. It's a hard comparison. The IQ AI is sharper and a little bit longer. The Max Thrill seems to hook a little earlier and be a little smoother, is what I'm seeing. Kaysen, I qualified for Pepsi State. Any advice? Hey, congratulations, first of all, for qualifying. That is huge. But yeah, otherwise, stay calm throughout it. It's just bowling at the end of the day. And make sure to just breathe. Just breathe, stay calm. Don't get too in your head and just bowl. It's like another game of bowling. Johnny, me and him are good friends. Hey, that is awesome, but I still suck. That is fair. That is fair. Have him teach you his ways. I'll give you a follow, but I have to go. Hey, thank you, Johnny, for the follow. Really do appreciate it over on Twitch. Really appreciate it. No. Oh, second round killed him. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's really sucky. Cole Donahue, does the original gem have a spot in the bag? Oh, absolutely. The original gem is still really good. 100% is. Curb, in my first varsity game, I got a Brooklyn and said, I guess I'll take it. I get clown now in Brooklyn. I mean, you have to. It happens. It's bowling. There's luck involved. It's just how it is. Smitty, two-hand fighting is opposite of two-hand bowling. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. Ken, what ball did you throw in your video where you had us guess? Yeah, I posted it right before this, actually. I think it ended up posting. I should check my phone. I did post it, right? Maybe. Let's see. Oh, I have so much going on here. Holy cow. Yes, I did end up posting it. Guess my ball answer. It was a Zen Gold Label. I was throwing a Zen Gold Label in my TikTok. So fantastic. Yeah, I could have missed it. I was at dinner. Oh, totally fair. Yeah, I posted it like 5 minutes before I went live. So yes, it is a Zen Gold Label was the black ball that I was throwing. Yesterday, I compared my Zen 25, my Zen Gold Label, and then I drilled a Journey. And I compared them all against each other to see the differences. TLDR of it, the Zen Gold Label hooks the latest. Actually, Zen Gold Label and Journey hooked around the same spot. The Journey was just a lot smoother and a lot more forgiving on the wet dry. The Zen Gold label just wanted to hook. It wanted to get to the end of the pattern and go sideways. The Zen 25 hooked a lot earlier. And it is a good amount earlier, more than I really expected. Smitty, this is random, but I'm so happy to be a Darren Tang fan. He's doing well. It's fun to see. Fun to see him on the way up, which was expected. He's a super smart bowler. Let's see. Cole Donahue, do you have a favorite between the level and the new blue? If you're throwing on something hard, level. If you're not, new blue. New blue is good on house. Gandhi, what are the current balls do you think will be available for a long time like the Phase 2? That's a good question. What would be some that are in the market right now that are going to stay? Evoke Hysteria is going to stay for a long time. I can see that staying for a really long time. I would say what are some other ones? Ion Pro seems to be staying around for a while. I feel like Attention Star not going to stay around all that long. IQ AI is going to be around for a year and a half at least. I don't think any Brunswick ball on the market right now is going to stay for that long. Black Widow Mania will probably stay for like year and a half at most, but that'll be the longest. The rest will probably be gone within a year. Let's see. Existence is Pain 22. We gotta talk about that username, buddy, over on Twitch. I don't know if you have any idea what I'm talking about, but I qualified for a junior gold tournament in Green Bay. Nice. Hopefully my new NV Tour will be good. Oh, NV Tour will be great for that. Congratulations, by the way. It's always really good for that. Let's see. Steve, what do you think of the string pin strike derby in 1 versus 2-handed? Seemed like an ad for 2-handed or for ad for string pins. I don't think it was an ad for string pins. I think it was a trial period to see if how the pros did on them, to see how the high rev rates did. So I don't think it was an ad. I think it was a trial more than anything. It was just like to test them out. So I don't think it was like, oh, look how good string pins are. Cause I think the way to do that is not showing them just out of the blue like that. I think EJ was trying to sell them when he was on the telecast, saying like he uses them and they're great, but I don't think anybody else really was trying to sell them per se. Ahala, what do you think of the Mesmerize? I think the Mesmerize is really good. I think it's a really good, strong, smooth ball. It's one of the really good, strong, smooth balls right now. It's just good. If you're a Brunswick fan, it's definitely the play. 2-handed, how long do you think for the Summit Ascent? I think the Summit Ascent will be gone within 3 months. I don't know if it's going to make it to the summer. June 1st, if it make my over under, if I had to choose like when it'll get discontinued, June 1st. I think June 1st, you're going to see that thing go. Smitty, I don't know why, but I feel like the Phase 2 is going to get discontinued soon. I do know that Storm is probably trying to get AI tech on everything. The only balls that don't have AI tech right now are the OG High Road, Phase 2, IQ Tour, and then all of the hustles. Those are the only balls without AI, but you're noticing a couple of the hustles got discontinued. I guarantee the next hustles that come out are going to be AI tech, 100% AI core. I don't think the Phase 2 can go. I just don't see that ball getting discontinued anytime soon. It just can't. Don't take my baby from me. Derek Vanish. In other news in bowling, the way Ryan Barnes lost and his dad had to give the young man that just defeated his son. Yeah, I know Chris Barnes would have had a lot to say if Ryan won it. That would have been the biggest moment, which would have been really cool at the end of the day. I want to ask you guys, let me know in the comments, please. Do you guys like on the PBA telecast that it seems like whenever Ryan's on TV, they only talk about historical bowling stuff and they only talk about Chris? And in general, just the historic side of bowling that they talk about a lot. I did notice compared to other sports, bowling pushes history more than anybody else. I've listened to a lot of sports telecasts lately, and it seems like bowling is like just hardcore. We are going to push a lot of history stuff. Do you guys like that? I'm kind of curious. I have my own opinion, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Well, we're going to get through a couple more comments quick too. Let's see. We have Don. I give the advantage to Rash in a fight with Belmo. Don, the Black Widow 2.0 is pretty popular. Really good. The Black Widow 2.0 is super angular for me. I don't know why. I might have gotten an odd one, but it happens. I don't know. It's weird. Jordan, do you think they'll remake the Phase 2 with AI? I think if the Phase 2 ever goes away, you would have about a 20-second window where there isn't a Phase 2. I think they would have a Phase 2 AI. Hypothetically, if there ever was a discontinuing of the Phase 2, you'd have the AI one out before it got discontinued. I think they would try running them like side by side to see what people think. But the problem is, yeah, like Don Clifton said, the Phase 2 is still one of the best selling balls on the market. Every pro shop and every group that did like top 10 bowling sales, the Phase 2 was on it. The Phase 2 was a top 10 ball last year, which is absurd. It's deserved. That thing's my baby, and I will die before anyone touches my Phase 2. But I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. Not at all. Let's see. Baldwin, are you going to do the 6-ball arsenal for Motive? Yes, coming Sunday is going to be our Motive 6-ball arsenal. It is already ready to go, so it's going to be on YouTube on Sunday. TikTok, I believe, will have it ready Sunday also. Catch up over on YouTube. Gandhi, what new upcoming videos are coming? We actually, ooh, this is going to be fun. We have a string pin video coming soon. It is going to probably be my most... There's going to be more hate comments on that than anything else. Apologies. I don't go pro or anti string pin. I just go through the facts of what they are and what they do and why you're seeing them so often. But we do have a string pin video coming soon. We are going to have we talked about the nuclear forge. We have a hammer 6-ball arsenal coming soon. I feel we're probably going to have bowling balls announced sometime soon. So we'll have videos on that. What else did I record? Oh, I have a really cool one where we go through creating the difference and talk about the pros and cons of CTD, which I think is really good. It's a good thing to know. I had a viewer ask about it. So we have a video of that coming soon also. A lot of really cool upcoming vids. We have Will. I'm so old. I like reliving the history. That is fair. That is fair. User, do you like the Criterion Hybrid? I actually think it's pretty good. I think the Criterion Hybrid is really good at the end of the day. It's kind of not getting much love, but it is a very angular and strong ball. Jordan Griffin, I would love to see PBA talk more about what went on during qualifying. Yeah, I didn't know there was qualifying for the longest time before I was like bigger into bowling. I thought the top 5 was just like 5 guys bowling. I didn't know who it was, but they don't really talk about it. Smitty, I'm indifferent about it. I think it's kind of cool now, but I think it'll play out very soon. I think it's kind of cool now, but I think it'll play out soon. Okay. Yeah. So the question I had, by the way, was, do you guys like all the PBA history and all of the, like the PBA history, PBA Hall of Famer, talks that happen? Because it's more than any other sport I've ever listened to. And then also like when Ryan Barnes is on the show, them always talking about Chris. It always goes back to Chris Barnes on there, or Linda. Which is kind of, I mean, I kind of think about it like with the Bronny situation. Like when Bronny's on, do they always talk about LeBron? And they do, but they don't. It's kind of a little bit less. It's weird. Cam, attention star versus hysteria. Hysteria is going to be a lot earlier and a lot smoother than the star. Curb, my friends were saying I don't need a new ball, but on a basic long pattern, I had to slow down speed. Then you might need a stronger smooth ball. You probably need one. If it's just not hooking, your other option, if you want to try physical game changes and slow down your speed, or adjustments, I should say, not changes, that can work really well. Otherwise, you might need something new. Baldwin, right on. Thank you. You are welcome. Let's catch up over here quick. David Jones, I don't mind a little history now and then, but the game's so dramatically different. I don't know how relevant the history is. I'm a little worried that the people who are watching the telecast don't remember bowling in the 90s or bowling in the 80s or 70s or even 60s. That's my concern, because your goal with a lot of those sports is you want to bring in new people, and like a new bowler, they're going to hear like Earl Anthony and they're like, I don't know who that is. Not a clue. I still barely know who Earl Anthony is, and I've been bowling for years and years. I'm not big on like sport history though. Existence is pain, the name we got to talk about. My friends were saying I don't need a new ball. Oh, that was you who said that. Okay, perfect. John Egg, what's going on, man? Baton Rouge in just over a week. Singles and doubles at 7 a.m. from the West. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. That is such a bad time. John, you got to yell at whoever your main setup guy is. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's not fun at all. Let's see. Jordan, or having Randy Peterson up there, they could have more detail on arsenals and pattern. Yes. I have a video on how to improve the PBA. Yes, 100%. They have done it a little bit more, I've noticed. They are talking to Timmy Mack. They're talking to Brett Spangler a little bit more. However, Players Championship, Randy comes on and he's like, and Ethan Fiore is throwing the Max Thrill Solid. It was the Max Thrill Hybrid. I know it's such a tiny change, but like, That's a lot of sales. I bet some people accidentally went and bought the Max Thrill Solid because they didn't know the difference. Or they went and looked it up and like, wait a minute, this isn't the same ball. Or like when they were talking about the Evoke Hysteria, I think Randy went like, these ball names are just like so crazy nowadays. It was such an old guy comment. It was kind of funny. Vincent, Ryan Barnes, the next GOAT. He's so good. I don't think we realize how ridiculously good Ryan Barnes is at the game of bowling. It's stupid. It's so dumb. Other than the Barnes choke gene, I don't think he chokes. Bowling is so dumb in the way that it's one game. It can go any which way. Absolutely. Like we saw Ryan, he had a chokehold on that match for the first couple frames. All it takes is a bad shot and you're done. And Ethan threw a couple bad shots, but they 10-pinned instead of doing what Ryan's did. And Ryan also kind of lost it a little bit early. He kind of lost it. Smitty, Physics Blackout versus Hysteria. I think they can work together. Yeah, the Hysteria is going to hook later than the Blackout. Later and sharper. Let's see. Gandhi, it would be great to see a video explaining each parameter on reading oil pattern tech sheet. I had a TikTok of it a long time ago, but I definitely need to remake that video, Gandhi. You're right. James, do you think a lefty will ever dominate like EJ and Belmo? No, never. There are too many ways to shut out lefties. I get like Packy had a comment that said like, we just need to bowl better when no lefties made the Players Championship. But at the end of the day, you can shut out a lefty so easily. It's just not possible. Graham is having an incredible year, best lefty on tour right now, and he's still like 6th in points. And it's just in points. He's only won one title. I don't think anyone can do an EJ or Belmo type run as a lefty. I think unless oil patterns change a ton or there's some kind of ball that comes out that benefits lefties a ton, that's about the only option. Don Clifton, I see a Pinocchio joke with string pins. Oh, all the time. Sergeant Shade, thoughts on the Max Thrill Hybrid replacing the weak but sharp spot? I actually threw it in the weak and, well, spoiler, I threw it in the weak and smooth category. I think it's actually closer to the solid than the pearl, personally. Don, PBA history is just stuff I watched when I was younger, nostalgia. I think it does, but that's a lot of history that a lot of us didn't really have, especially who got into bowling later in life. That's a tough piece. Jay Pathy, what's going on? Thinking about switching my magic gem into a lethal venom. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Steve, I bowl at Earl Anthony Dublin. Nice. Dominic with the nice little fireworks. Johnny Ego, we had the option of 7 a.m. or 11 p.m. At least this way we get to NOLA by lunchtime. That's fair. That's a good idea. If you're going out to Baton Rouge, make sure to go to NOLA, New Orleans. Now, let me catch up over here. We have Jordan. Do you ever adjust right and throw faster, harder? Never. The only time I would is on a house shot. It's the only time I'd ever move right. Otherwise, I think moving left is almost always the play. Ken R, I know all that history. Totally fair. Nick Watkins, they need to show the ball reps more. I would love the ball reps to be on more. I would. But they have a job to do, of course. I feel like a secondary ball rep would be great to have in the booth. Like, I know Wesley Lowe is a storm one, but Timmy Mack always steps in. So have Wesley do some stuff. Wesley's not the best, on-camera presence in the world by any means. But sorry, Wes. But he's still fantastic. User, would a theorem fit between my Criterion hybrid and the Stealth hybrid? It would, yes. Vincent, looking for a new ball. You have a phase 2 and a torrent. Looking at a blackout or an attention star. The blackout might be hard to get because it's discontinued. Might have to go with the attention star. Let's see. Steve, Randy is trash. A lot of people don't like Randy. A lot of people don't like Randy in the booth. And it's such a hard, that's such a hard debate. I don't like trashing people or anything like that. But I think if the PBA wants a change in their telecast, because they've been doing it the same for 50 years or 30 years, probably, I feel like that is a spot. I feel like that's a spot that they could change, is having somebody different. Ken Meeks, DNA Hyperdrive, Black Widow Mania 3.0, Hammerhead Cosmo. Oh, that's a lot of balls. Holy cow. Ken, DNA Hyperdrive, Mania, Widow 3.0, Hammerhead Cosmos, Phase 5 vibe. You have everything covered. You have everything covered there, Ken. And then you definitely don't need urethane at state, so I think you're good. Franchise, missed the start, but great work as always. Hey, thanks, man. Where does the new Maxwell Hybrid and Typhoon go? What do you think of the Ion Pro? Just checking. Apparently 16 miles an hour, 420 rev rate. So
Ion Pro Weak Smooth is looking better and better and better lately. The Max Thrill Hybrid, I think, is a weak and smooth ball. And then I think the Typhoon is weak and sharp, is what I'm seeing right now. That's how I see them. All right, we have a couple over here. Curb, I definitely feel the telecast could be a 3-game series. I I think one game is cool, but it's a lot less skill. The general idea is like the more games you bowl, the better bowlers end up at the top. The cream of the crop always rises the more games you bowl. Like if you bowl a 2-game tournament, you're going to notice a lot of random people that do well because they got a lucky 270 in there, because it is possible to get a lucky 270. Always possible. And with 2 games, you can't really average out to what you normally would shoot. So yeah, I think that wouldn't be bad. I don't know how it would do for TV, though. Markel bowling on 41 feet this weekend, basically flat. You're going to want to play straight with some very smooth equipment. Jordan Griffin, Curb, we hit. Evan, what do you think about this Arsenal, RST Hyperdrive, Origin, and Cosmos? I like that. I like it. It looks good. Good 3-ball Arsenal. C. Higgs, 6th frame, last game of the season. My hustle gets chewed up, so now I'm getting a brand new one. Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. Ken Meeks had to come over here from TikTok to ask a longer question. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. Jay Pathy, when will we see a pearl urethane from Storm again? I don't know if we'll see a urethane again. I don't know, because we haven't seen a new urethane in 2 years. Well, yeah, 2 years. It's been 2 years since we've seen a new urethane. No, was it last year? It was, yes. When did the Black Pearl urethane come out? Hammer, was that just last year? It might have just been last year. I might be crazy. We're checking it. It came out on March 20. Okay, it was a year. We haven't seen a new urethane in over a year. I don't know what that means. I feel like there's talks of banning urethane. I would be curious. No urethanes coming out at all is odd, especially with that IQ 78 not being good, and with companies making fake urethanes. Hey, Don, what's going on? You're my hero. I did just see you text me, Don. I'll have to look at that in a minute. My bad. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll see a Pearl urethane from Storm anytime soon. If they come out with a new urethane, it'll probably be Pearl, but their Pearl urethanes suck. They did. Fever Pitch, dumpster fire. What else was there? Was another Pearl one in there that was no bueno. No bueno at all. So I don't know. I don't think we'll see one. Lawrence, my son is a righty and one-handed youth bowler who likes the Eternity Pie. What would you recommend as a replacement? Replacement of the Pie. It's kind of a weird spot in the bag. Physics Blackout isn't absurdly close. XL might be closer. I'd say the XL is probably closest. Don Clifton, I think the last lefty to win a ton was Bone. He did, and I think he only won a couple. He won a couple Player of the Years, I think, luckily. But he wasn't like, the like top dog. He was one of the top dogs. And that was at a time where patterns weren't as awful on lefties at times. Philip Wong, what's a good replacement for my phase AI? It didn't work, but for some reason, every ball I bowled a 200 plus with, except for the AI. If you want something similar, I'd recommend the Zen 25. It'll be close and just, in my opinion, overall better. Personally, I didn't like my phase AI. I really like my Zen 25. Ken, gotta head out. Hey, thanks for hanging, Ken. Appreciate it. See you later. Ken, if you noticed, I did gift you a sub, by the way, on TikTok. I had a couple free ones, and I know you're always hanging out. And yeah, thank you so much. So enjoy the subscription. Don, I threw that phase AI in the dumpster. Yep, exactly. Jordan Griffin, UC3. Yeah, UC3 was also kind of doo-doo. Hey, Mr. Lucky, thank you for the follow. Can't say the last part without getting booted. All right, let's see. Where are we at over here? Brad Staton. Is there any info on the new Motive EJ? I know they're making it until the pre-orders, but now that it's done, has anyone seen the ball roll? I don't think we've seen it yet. I think they're going to hold off now, especially with the Max Thrill winning a major. They're going to push everything they can in marketing on that Max Thrill for like 2 more weeks. I'd say like start of May, you're going to notice videos of the EJ coming out. I don't think we're going to see it till then, though, just because the Max Thrill is probably selling well right now because of the Players Championship win. And then they're just going to want to keep pushing it. Especially EJ just bowled 300 with it, too, at the TOC. Or no, did he? He might have. Yeah, he did. He did throw the Max Thrill for that. I think Ethan threw the Sub-Zero Forge for a 300 there, too. Which is wild. Have a week, kid. Have a week. Win $100,000. Thanks. I'm going to go the TOC, and I'm going to go throw 300 with the Sub-Zero Forge. Why not? Why the hell not? I did see that, so I appreciate it. Oh, okay, perfect. Good. Glad that you saw it. I didn't know if there would be like a notification or anything for you, Ken. Jason, have you ever heard of Boom Bowling? I thought I bought the Belmo ball off them, but afraid I got scammed. Boom Bowling? I've never heard of these guys. Do they have like stupid cheap prices or something? No, they don't. They're the same prices that you get everywhere else. I bet the ball will come. It's probably just a pro shop that made a website that looks pretty. That's my guess. Free shipping too. Good job. Good job, Boom Bowling. Good job, Boom Bowling. I've never heard of them though. Interesting. Franchise. I like Randy. It makes me feel comfy when I watch the telecast. Maybe a rotating third active player. The active players they had in the telecast were generally pretty good in the last couple of weeks, but yeah, kind of, I don't know. It depends. It depends how they do. It's hard because you wanna cater towards the bowlers who know their stuff, but you also need to pull people in who are just scrolling on Fox. You need those random people who see a clip on TikTok to come in and actually want to watch. So how do you get them? And I don't know if Randy's the best with getting like 20-year-olds to come to want to watch or 15-year-olds to come to want to watch the PBA. Jay Pathy, yes, UC3. Also doo-doo. Existence. Out of me and my friends, who do you think has the best arsenal? You have NV Tour, New Blue, and the Vibe. One of your friends has the AI, the Gem, the Vibo, the Venom Shock. One of them has the Hazmat Solid, the Physics Blackout. My other friend has the Phase Tube, the Equinox, the AI, and the Rockstar. I would say the guy with the AI. I would say that Phase AI, Gem, Vibo, and Venom Shock is the best like overall cycle of bowling balls. Let's see. I did see all day cleanest pearl. Cleanest pearl on the market right now. Phase AI is close. Road Warrior is probably close up there. What's another clean pearl out there right now? There aren't any insanely clean pearls. There aren't many weak and sharp balls in general. Man, there really isn't much, is there? Maybe a fireball? Probably a fireball at most. IRG. The Ivory Rhino, kind of. It does hook earlier. Don is saying Typhoon. Probably the Typhoon when it comes out would be my guess. It's close. That's probably the cleanest. Let's see. Jordan Griffin. Ethan got a thing for the baby blue. I bowled with Ethan a few times before he got it going. Always a smooth ball. Oh, he lives in a bowling center. Dude lives in a bowling center. Absolutely does. Jordan Griffin. I get so hyped when I see Rob Stone. Rob Stone's just a good commentator. There's an art to commentating that a lot of people don't know, and I think a lot of commentators don't actually get deep on, but there is a true art to it. It is an art. Drake, need a ball that fits between the Crusher and the Sting. Attention Star, but it looks like you're a Brunswick fan, so I would go like I think a Vaporize would actually be pretty decent. Vaporize should fit well for you, Drake. So, yeah, we'll have a little bit left, but we are talking Belmo versus Rash fight. We are talking new bowling balls. We are talking, what else are we talking today? A little bit of everything. We're talking Bowler's Paradise retiring from YouTube, one of the bigger bowling channels on YouTube. He had like 13,000 subscribers. He is retiring from ball reviews. A lot of things going on. Actually, Matthew just hit it perfectly. Did you watch Bowling Paradise on YouTube? I did. It is very sad to see one of the better ball reviewers dropping away from the YouTube space. Very, very sad. Ben's a great dude at the end of the day, so he does an awesome job. So very sad. That was good timing, Matthew. Really good timing. But we're talking all that stuff. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Helps me out a ton. Best way to support the channel for free. And then we are just talking everything and anything bowling. So also Q&A as per usual. Don, good luck getting shoes or accessories. So also accessories. So Don, I did mention earlier that the China tariffs might cause issues with some Chinese-based products. And there's a lot of bowling products that are made in China. So the tariffs are going to affect bowling. We were kind of curious if they were or not over the last couple months because we knew of them and they've been kind of on and off, but they are officially going to hit bowling. And honestly, they're going to hit bowling really hard the way it seems, unless they get lifted anytime soon. Jordan, thank you for the heart me. Don, we got cleaned out of Dexter shoes. Ooh. Go get shoes if you need shoes. Go buy shoes now if you need some shoes. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's see. Laney. Also looking to replace my phase AI. Looking for something stronger. Evoke Hysteria would work. Evoke Hysteria would work well there, Laney. Gandhi, we would like to see a video on 6-ball Arsenal released by Storm, Motive, and Brunswick. Ooh. We could do that. I think we could do that. Combine them all. David Jones, or UPS delivered to some other random address. They've been getting worse about the last year. UPS and FedEx are always tough. USPS is the GOAT, in my opinion. Yeah, FedEx is always brutal for me with that kind of stuff. Gandhi, is GB5 Pearl a benchmark? I wouldn't say it's a benchmark. I'd say it's a little bit lower. Dominic, hey, Zach, any post I put with more than 13 words disappears. Really? I honestly have no idea why that would be, Dominic. You're not... There's nothing negative on your stuff. Weird. That is a very odd glitch. I've never seen that one before. Let's see, get exposed. I have a Harsh Reality, Ion Pro, Vibo, Exponent, Journey, and a level. Ion Pro, Vibo, Exponent, Journey, level. You have and a Harsh. Never mind. With a Harsh, yeah, I think it looks good. It's a good like 5 to 6 ball arsenal. It's a nice job. Let's see. Let's catch back up over here. Curb, what is the strongest ball right now? I'd say Jackal Onyx. I think Jackal Onyx is up there. Otherwise, Ion Max. J-Dog, can you tell me if this is a good Arsenal, Hyperdrive, Road Warrior, Pitch Black? Yeah, it looks pretty good, honestly. It looks pretty good overall. J-Dog, we hit all day. What major brands will be taking the biggest hits? All the accessory companies, the shoe companies. So KR, Dexter, 3G. I would assume all the smaller companies, you know, like the Epics of the world and the ones who try to be lower quality but cheaper. I feel like some of them might not make it through the tariffs. You're going to notice a couple of those bowling companies go out of business. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of the bigger ones, or if some of the smaller ones just get wiped, especially some of the accessory companies too, that just bank on accessories. I'd be a little curious how they're going to do. That's going to be tough. So if you want any bowling bags, any bowling shoes, bowling accessories, I would recommend picking them up sooner rather than later. The longer the tariffs run, the more impossible it's going to be to get that kind of stuff. I don't know. The bowling doesn't have enough money in it to actually keep these companies afloat, and they're not going to be made American. It's just way too expensive. So it'll be interesting. Dominic, could you check out my YouTube channel? Oh, that's why, Dominic. Yeah, if you're trying to, YouTube has a filter for if you're mentioning your own YouTube channel usually, where it blocks it. Don says, except Brunswick, they'll be okay. Oh, are they not made? I thought they were made overseas too. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see where, hey, Trash Panda, what's going on? How you doing, man? And Jesper is hot right now. Yeah, someone just said he took the lead. So it sounds like he took the lead over there, which is awesome. Nail Strikes, do you like the Vaporize? I do. It's my #1 ASIM Pearl right now, honestly. It's the most middle of the bag ASIM Pearl. I do want to compare it to like my Star and my Equinox. And I have another one. I have another ASIM Pearl that I forgot about. I don't know what it is, but I want to compare all those. But I think it looks really good. I think the Vaporize is one of the better ASIM Pearls on the market right now. Let's see. We hit that, Don, except Brunswick. Oh, made in Mexico. Yeah, and the Mexico ones got pulled. Alan, what do you think about the Absolute Power? It's just like a Phase 2. Just like a Phase 2. Curb, what was you say is the strongest ball? We hit that Ion Max with Jackal Onyx. Don, and they have a ton of inventory. Oh, that fits. All day, I thought Brunswick's made in Mexico. Yeah, but I think the Mexico tariffs, I don't know. I don't pay attention enough I haven't been paying attention enough the last couple weeks, but yeah, they might have gotten pulled. Maybe it's 10%, but I guarantee you're going to see an uptick in price. You're going to see an uptick in price. All I have are reels. Yeah, Dominic, figure this was the easiest way to get my question to work. Yeah, so that's why it's getting kicked. Gandhi, I want to make a bowling profile poster. What should I include so that others know well about me? Honestly, stats are always good. Rev rate, speed. Maybe do like a favorite ball for fun of it. Average is always a good one. Things like that. See, David, Brunswick balls are made in Mexico. Not sure about other products. Everything else is, all bowling balls are generally stateside. I think plastic balls are all made overseas, and I don't know about swag. I don't know where swag is poured right now. Does anyone in chat know where swag balls are poured at this moment? I don't know where, the old ones were South Korea. I don't know about the new ones. Be kind of curious. Dawn swag is okay. It's still in Korea. Okay. That is probably not great. So I could see maybe that's why swag balls there are no new swag balls, or they're just not selling great. I don't really know. Not positive. Let's see. Trash Panda, 9-pin no tap, not my forte. Shot 268 regular, but can't hit 9. That's always how it goes. That's 9-pin no tap in a nutshell. You're like, if I just bowl regular and then you're like 8, 7, 2, 8, 10 split through the face for a 3, 6, 10. It's no tap is always, it's fun, but you can't take it too seriously. Let's see. Curb, maybe another ASIM Pearl. You have his Harsh Reality Pearl. Yeah. Harsh Reality Pearl is probably the strongest Pearl ball made in a while. Alla Ghost replacement. What would you recommend? There isn't much for the Ghost right now. Evoke is not close. It's such a unique ball. It's hard to fill. Maybe a sanded special effect. That would probably be the only play that I can see. Sabas, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. All right, Brad Staten, what's the best strategy to win in a handicap league? 4-man team with a total about 110. Went into league last week trailing by 248. Just bowl well. Handicap, the thing with bowlers who get more handicap is one, they're always their handicap is dropped because it's always like 90% of 220 or something. So they're generally going to bowl worse than your average. So if you bowl average and they bowl average, you're going to win. Generally how it goes. Otherwise, just try to bowl well. Try to hit the pocket a lot. It's really all it is. And then they're gonna have games where they shoot 50 pins over average. They're gonna have games where they shoot 80 pins under average. So that's the big one. Gave up and threw conventional for once. Oh God. Oh God. Dylan Muse, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh, Lemus, sorry. It's a Tropical Surge, a good ball. It is a good beginner ball. Really good beginner ball. Curve. So what I've gathered from this stream is I should buy the direct hit. No. Yeah, God damn it. Don't buy the direct hit. Unless you're high rev, low speed, and you want to play straight, and you want a plastic ball that hooks too much to be a plastic ball. You don't need a direct hit. Ben said it perfectly. Oh, get Bowler's Paradise in here. Get him out of retirement. I want to hear the rant. Let's go. I want to hear the torpedo direct hit rant. All Day Dough was in a handicap league this year that was 90% of 240. That's absurd. That is bonkers, dude. Would it hook more than my mix? No, nothing hooks more than your mix, Don. Your mix hooks out of the building. That hooks more than your hyperdrive. Curb, the normal torpedo is pretty good, though. I haven't seen almost anything about it. It kind of got lost in the shadow of the direct hit. So I have no idea if it's good or not. Barely have seen it go down the lane. Brad, we constantly run into the 50 pins over average and never the 80. Yeah, that's the law of averages, which is kind of unfortunate. Gandhi, thank you so much. I became a better bowler and knowledge on balls by interacting with you. Oh, thank you, man. It's worth waking up at 4 a.m. That is crazy. Thank you so much for hopping in. Really appreciate it. That is so early. Thank you for watching. It means a ton. John Ego, isn't a physics blackout a pearl? Technically it is. You are right. Trash 130, a hot 130 with conventional. Steve, hyperdrive to replace the reality. I think the hyperdrive is the closest reality ball we've had in a bit. Dylan Linmoose, what ball hooks more? Everything. Basically everything hooks more than a surge. Ken R, looks like I need a direct hit to replace my polished boost. You could. The speed cube. My pro shop owner suggested a fugitive solid. That ball's like 4 years old. I don't know if you can even find that ball anymore. And no, I would not get it. That ball is 5 years old. No. He might be just trying to sell it to you to get it off the shelf. Do not get a fugitive solid. Way too old. Way too old. All right. We are going to do last call for questions, everybody. Any final questions that you have, bowling related, non-bowling related, Belmo-Rash related. I hope you guys enjoyed the thumbnail over on YouTube, by the way. That one was very fun to make. It was Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That's what they're called. I thought it was like Bop'em Sock'em at first, but Rock'em Sock'em Robots with Belmo and Rash on it. It was one of the more fun thumbnails to make. And then yeah, make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to follow if you haven't. Helps me out a ton. All right, let's see. What do we got? Curb was in a high school league with people doing it for fun, constantly up against plus 200. That's wild. Smitty, non-bowling related. How are you doing today? Good. I'm doing good. It was a pretty hectic day at work, but Wednesdays are always fun because it's like, so last night is Tuesdays are my night at our pro shop where I work at our pro shop, and I always practice afterwards. So it gets to be a very late night. So it's like 14 and a half to 15 hours where I'm not at home, which sucks. So Tuesdays always get hectic. Wednesdays, I'm usually a little bit beat up, but jumping into stream is always super fun. So these are super helpful for me too, to kind of know I'm at the back half of the week, which is great. So thank you for asking though, Smitty. Appreciate it. John, did you see Buttroff's fry outs? I did not. He fried out. I know he's a little cuckoo in that way, but I didn't see it yet. Super Coop. I just bought a nib idle. Wow. Do you think I can use it as a down payment on a house? I think on 2 houses. I think you can get 2 houses with that. Jamani, best aggressive hooking ball. RST Hyperdrive is really good. Jackal Onyx is really good. Brunswick Mesmerize is really good right now. So one of those 3 will be great. Let's see. Brad, what if you took a direct hit and put 500 on it? I do know of a lefty who did try convincing everybody to put 500 grit on plastic. That has happened in the past. Don't put 500 grit on plastic. But it is, you can, the world is your oyster at the end of the day. You can do whatever your little heart desires. If you want to put 500 good on a direct hit, sure. Let me know how it works. Send me a video. I want to see that thing roll. I want to see you, Lily. Elijah C, what's going on? How are you doing? Bryce Irwin, you told me to hit my altered with 1,000 last week. I bowled 285. Nice. That is awesome. Congrats, man. That is super cool. Speed Cube, it's also my first ball, if that makes a difference. And I was looking for something cheap and will hook decent. I don't know where he's finding a fugitive, honestly, Speed. I'd recommend something different because that fugitive, it's so old at this point that the cover might be dead. So it might not hook much. Let's see, let's catch up over here. Curb, what do you think the strongest ball of all time? Oh, earliest hooking ball ever is that white Quantum Bias. That white Brunswick Quantum Bias was hooked at your ankles. It hooked literally the second it touched the lane. That thing was bonkers. It was terrible. Awful bowling ball. Never buy it. Looked disgusting. It looked cool until you threw a frame with it. Then it came back brown. Dylan, I bowled and got 2 medals for second and first. Congrats. That is awesome. Curb, I love everyone trying to make the direct hit work. Jordan, 500 grit spy looks good on the left. I mean, yeah, do whatever. That you do you, man. You do you. The choice you can make. It was a lefty who told me to do that. So, hey, you lefties, do whatever you lefties want. That's fine by me. Row BA, I have the phase target and a blaze DNA. I didn't know a phase target was a thing. I usually keep a little bit of track on the overseas stuff. You said target? What is that? Phase target. That's a ball. That thing is kind of cool. What does it have? GI 24 solid. That is the one on the Sherlock, I believe. That is awesome. Congrats, bro. That's super cool. Trash Panda is the max throw hybrid worth buying as a ball down from the lethal. Yes, that is a good spot for it, actually. And Elijah, doing good. First stream of yours that I've tuned into. Hey, thanks for hanging in. Seems pretty high energy. Yeah, we go through every and any bowling question and thing possible in these streams. We hit everything possible. We have a lot of questions coming in. I lose my voice by the end of it. I can tell my voice already hurts right now. And I have to record a video after this. I have to record for that Cypher Pearl and Rally because my videos got corrupted last night, which is great. I'm not upset. I'm not drinking my pain away with caffeine at 8:20 p.m. TikTok, I said with caffeine, by the way. I said with caffeine. Let's see. Curb, I find it funny how Storm puts AI on everything. Brunswick puts HK22, pretty much. And AI will defend a little bit because it seems like it's generally cheaper to make a core with AI tech. So they're doing it for also a cost saving way so they don't have to bump prices is my guess. HK22 is solely just for shape down lane. It makes a lot more shape. It makes it similar to Storm equipment, which is good for Brunswick because they struggled in that regard for years and years. Dylan, there's a guy who's playing bowling with a candlepin bowling ball. They'll get like 2 a game, and it's probably going to get stuck. Jay Pathy, are you sure you said caffeine? I 100% heard cocaine. No, caffeine. I have no cocaine here. I have 0. I think, maybe. Unless someone snuck some in, which maybe. It is, I'm selling it. Bryce, do you think the Origin would be a replacement for my Altered? Yes, 100% it is. And don't worry about using, it's not really banned per se. You're fine with that. Steve, I'm lefty and I've done 500 with a spy up 5 for like 210. You lefties do whatever you want. Try it out. It probably works. Speed Cube, he takes used balls and sells them. Oh, okay. If it's a used ball, then if it's your first one, used ball, I thought it was a new one. That's my bad. I thought it was a brand new fugitive, which I was suspicious of. But yeah, if it's a used ball, definitely try it out. Definitely try it out. Trash Panda, get you a couple vodka Red Bulls. The choice. It's an option that could be done on a Wednesday evening. Joe Haney, what Storm or Roto Ball would replace the Venom Cobra? Ooh. Summit Ascent. Summit Ascent is best. Lefties could probably make a tennis ball work. Oh, that's funny. That's awesome. You smoking? Got a Widow 3.0. Do I need an Ion Max? No, not right now. Not right now. All right. I do see Vegas Art. Would a Brunswick Crown Victory be a good choice for a lefty who's used a hazmat? It's going to be pretty angular for you. It's going to be pretty angular and pretty late hooking. I don't know as a lefty if you need that much angle for your bowling ball. Not positive. Don, want to practice Friday? I'm going to unretire from my Nationals tryout. I probably should. I bowled yesterday and it felt good, but I probably should bowl one more time. But it's a day where kids don't have school, so I feel like it's going to be packed in there. And I had to bowl against a bunch of high schoolers or next to a bunch of high schoolers on Tuesday, and I almost kicked 3 in the face. Because I would go throw, and then one of them would go right after me and almost slam their face into my foot. It was great. Matthew just saw Venom Cobra on Marketplace. That'd be kind of cool. It was a weird ball. I used that for a test fit once. Dylan Lemoose, my brother had a custom bowling ball that he got in high school and does not know how to curve. That's fine. It's a lot of practice. A lot of YouTube will help out. Curb, what ball do you think is utilize AI the best? The weaker bowling balls. The weaker bowling balls are best. By far. IQ, Road Warrior. I think the Typhoon looks pretty good right now. Things like that. Road BA, I have a lesson with Mark Baker on Friday. Nice. That is awesome. I actually sent videos for his online reviews a couple days ago. So yeah, tell him to get to knock out Zach's reviews. That would be fantastic. I sent him, I think 2 days ago, and he got them. So yeah, make sure to let him know. Yeah, that Zach guy, that really tall dweeby looking dude. Make sure that his stuff gets done. All right, let's see. I think, guys, we are going to call it on that. Probably bringing the Jackal Onyx and AI. Good call. Perfect option. Smitty, Mark Baker is the GOAT. Oh, absolutely. MNU, what's your #1 tip to growing a channel bowling related? Make content that isn't out there. And if it is out there, make it better. Try to find a niche. Try to find a place that you can hit that isn't too stressful. That isn't too out of your zone. So like for me, I knew bowling balls super well. I love the bowling ball portion of the game. I don't have access to a lot of bowling balls, but I look up so much about them and watch so many reviews, talk to so many people. So I found that niche and then it just worked. So get content out there, try to have a plan, have a game plan, and don't give up too quickly. The biggest thing is you're going to notice a lot of non-growth and then a lot of people quit. Or you have people who find a lot of growth and then quit, but you got to just stick with it. That's the best way to grow. Might bowl the cleanup crew tournament. Nice. That is awesome. Good luck in that. Speed Cube, what amount of 300 game bowled is a lot? More than 5 probably is a good amount. Let's see. James, league handicap percentage needs to go down. Sometimes some leagues get a little too nutty. Some leagues get a little too crazy. Dominic, see you, Zach. All right, thanks, Dominic. See you later. MNU, low-key just posting shots of my bowling. Don't really know where to go from there. Yeah, try to get creative. Try to see what other people are doing. try to do what they do. I don't like, it's okay to copy stuff to a certain degree. Don't copy thumbnails, of course. There's a couple YouTubers I'm looking at that have copied mine in the last couple of weeks. Don't copy exact content, but try to mimic some things that you like from other people. Like for me, one of my biggest motivators was Luke Rosdahl. I loved how he explained bowling balls, and that's how I love to hear it. So that's how I explain bowling balls, is similar to how he does, just with different twists to it. I just change like the experience level depending on who I'm talking to and what it is. So yeah, copy, but make your own thing, kind of. Yeah, to a certain degree. Just don't like directly steal people's stuff, but try to see what you like from people. That's the best way to grow, is like, what do the best do? What do the big names do? Maybe I should try that a little bit. That's usually the best way to go. Elijah, glad I could catch the last part. Yeah, thanks for hopping in, Elijah. Appreciate it. I'll make sure to tune into next stream. Awesome. We are live every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Love for all of you to come hang out next Wednesday. Would really appreciate it. I see Brad saying Luke is great, and Jay Pathy, love Luke, but he's monotone. Exactly. That was one of the parts I didn't like about Luke's. You need to have entertainment value when you're making the videos. So you're going to notice that like I use my left hand a lot. I can't use my right because my mic is right here and I just beat the hell out of it. But I change, like my tone changes a lot and things like that. That's something I pulled from bigger YouTubers in different spaces. Like I'm a big video game guy, so I watch a lot of video game YouTubers. So I pull that from a lot of those guys. So try to take the best parts of different things and then pull them into one. That's always my recommendation. But yeah, we love Luke. We love Luke. He's awesome. Otherwise, we are going to end it on that, guys. Jay Pathy, big subs to you. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Pathy. Appreciate it. We are going to call it on that. TikTok, thank you all so much. We had the best viewership we've had in a very long time. I really appreciate you guys all hanging out. Love every single one of you. We have a lot of cool content coming in the next couple of weeks. Really hope you guys stay tuned for it. Make sure to follow. I will see you guys TikTok on the next one. Bye-bye. And then we have YouTube and Twitch. You guys are here. Love having you guys too. Thank you all for hanging out. We have a lot of cool YouTube content coming. We have a Sappy video Friday. We have a thank you video. We're actually at like 8,700. I believe we're at 8,700 subscribers right now. We're on the path to 10K. Thank you everybody for that. We're almost at the 1 year channel anniversary, which is going to be really fun. That's in a month, about I think 28 days or 29 days. So thank you everybody on YouTube and Twitch who've hung out with us that whole time. On the path to 10K subs, so a little Sappy video Friday. Sunday is our Motive 6-ball arsenal. Next week, we're going to have a Creating the Difference deep dive. We're going to have our string pin video coming out. We have a lot of cool content. So make sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube and Twitch. Really helps out a ton. David, have a great weekend. Thank you, David. You as well. And Brad, Luke is so good at explaining that I don't even notice the monotone piece. I didn't either for the longest time. But then after I started like analyzing a little more and getting a little deeper into like, what does he do well? What does he need to improve on? I did start noticing it then. But otherwise, same Brad, I actually just got off his stream. Oh, I didn't know he was streaming tonight. Dude, I feel bad because I think those guys, like Luke and Jonathan, stream on Wednesdays. They weren't when I started streaming months ago. They took a hiatus and switched their night, and I think they switched back to Wednesdays. So I hope they don't think that I'm taking their night by any means. I hope not. Nothing I can do about it, but that was not my intention at all, was to steal their night. I hope they know that. I've never talked to either of them. They've never reached out. I've really never reached out to them either. That's probably on me, but yeah, hopefully they don't think that. The space can be scary. You don't want to step on toes. All right, but with that, that's going to be everything, YouTube. Thank you guys for hanging out. Love every single one of you. Really appreciate hanging out with me. We are going to throw you to a stream ending page, and then we will be calling it. Really appreciate it. I will see you guys otherwise Wednesday, 6 p.m. Otherwise, a new video coming Friday at 11 a.m. Bye-bye.